with Dorcas guiding through dungeons deep, and Grey who plays President Steve. Nemo's crush strokes like magic in the air. The Crest Hydra's expertise beyond compare. Charles manages the box office with grace, while other guests add to the lively space. In a world of thoughts where minds collide, the thinkers gather their wits as their guide. From deep contemplation to laughter's embrace, every Thursday is their special place.
Hey meow.
Hey meow.
Hey meow.
Hey, meow.
I was waiting for Gray.
Yeah, there was a bit too long of a pause on that one.
No,
Good
it's worth the
morning,
wait.
good afternoon, good evening, good night.
And good night.
Hello, hello.
What's up, cowboy?
Hey, Lucifer.
Gosh.
Hell yeah.
As soon as we start the show,
Oh, it's
Axel
neat.
is at the door asking to go into the other room. It is a
He knows
very
what time it
special
is.
place. He knows what time it is. He's like, it's their special place. I got to get out of here. Daisy's a thinker. Actually, not a thinker. Hey, dude. Yeah. Daisy is my female cat, if you don't know. Meow and hello. Hello, Bob. How you doing? Good to see you in our special place. Do. So, this week on Thinkers, we're doing something that we'll probably start doing just periodically, every now and then. It will be a movie think, where because we've got quite a lot of film people here. I'm talking about Charles, Gray, and Dorcas. They're theatre kids, I suppose. And I want to draw on their knowledge because I'm a film normie. Hydra, I think he's kind of film normie too, or just not even normie enough. He watches movies sometimes. That's about
Very
it.
rarely. It's
Yeah.
very, very rare that I watch a
Mm.
movie, and it's usually not my own accord. It's because with someone else or somehow I got into a
Yeah.
situation where I have to. It's just not my preferred medium. I don't know. I don't
Mm.
engage in movie watching that often.
Me, on the other hand, I enjoy movies, and that what's great about being a movie normie is you don't have these rigid things that I'm not watching this movie by this director or something like that. You just go and you watch and you enjoy. But at the same time, I want to tap into the nerd knowledge of the panel. Charles is on his way, hopefully, because it is the movie central. But listen, you guys, we don't need Charles, okay? He manages the box office, but you know what? We watch movies elsewhere, okay? So that's fine. We don't need Charles. I'm kidding, but I do want him to come along, because the whole point. He even watched a movie because I told him to. Because I basically what happened is I just picked 3 random movies that I'd watched over a week or 2 ago, and I said, "Oh, I would love to hear what the film nerds think of these movies." And these movies are 10 Cloverfield Lane, Coherence, and Fresh. Who has seen any of these things? Gray says he watched Coherence and Fresh today, and you'd seen Cloverfield Lane, yes?
Yes. Yeah. So thankfully, I've now seen all of these. Yeah, interesting flicks for sure. Good choices.
I will let Gordon know because they are his choices. I enjoyed them, but I'm very easily pleased. So there is a problem. My film taste is it a film I probably will watch.
Well,
Secret
I don't know. These are kind of trying movies, though. I don't know that they're necessarily like the easiest movies to watch. So I don't know. Don't sell yourself short there. If you enjoyed them, it definitely challenges you to kind of think about what's going on. It's not just a popcorn flick.
That's really what I liked about these. Except Fresh, you haven't seen Fresh. Yeah, gosh.
Do yourself a favor. It's Hulu.
Yeah.
It's a Hulu original with Sebastian Stan.
With
Bucky's in it.
Yeah, Bucky's in it. It's weird seeing so much of him. Did this man buy McDonald's? I swear to God.
Hey, McDonald's is a thing. I don't know. Meat cookies.
Buy McDonald's. Meat cookies.
What about you, Dorcas? Have you seen any of these 3 flicks?
Of the three, I've only seen 10 Cloverfield Lane. I saw it when it came out, and my recollection is that it was excellent. And then I watched the first 20 or so minutes before the stream started to remind myself of what it was. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that was
It's
the
an
one.
interesting one.
Yeah, that was the one that disappointed me most. At
Well,
the end,
stream of
is
the
that in
movie, it was definitely the most theatrical release. So, maybe you have more particular taste than you were giving yourself credit for.
Okay, well, we need to go through it because I'm willing to have my mind changed about it and rewatch it, but it did disappoint at the end there. It was okay, maybe it was because I didn't know anything about the movie. Just hold on. Sorry about that.
All of them are kind of interesting films in that they're not big. The cast seems to be very small in all of them. They're kind of kept to smaller locations, if you will. I don't know. It's really kind of interesting. I thought that would be the exception with like 10 Cloverfield Lane, but Fresh and blanking on the other one, Coherence, they also kind of take place in like one room or close to one room. They're all kind of, if it was TV, you'd call it like a bottle episode. You're not going to a bunch of locations on this one. So it is kind of interesting. There is a bit of a through line with them.
It's like when the Star Trek producers ran out of money a little bit, and the entire next episode takes place in the bridge and in the Met Bay, and they are not going to any planets, and they boldly stay right where they are.
Boldly stay.
So I just looked up the little tidbit on Fresh on Hulu. It says Fresh follows the horrors of modern dating, seen through one young woman's defiant battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites. What are those unusual appetites?
He's
hard to say.
Cannibal, or
he's a cannibal.
Maybe. It's odd. They didn't cast Armie Hammer in this one. I thought maybe they would have, but I guess it is Hulu, who's owned by Disney, so maybe they have an in to Sebastian Stan. But it's interesting. So Daisy Edgar Jones is the other one who stars in this. So she recently is on the big screen, somewhat blockbuster in Twisters, and then before that she did something else, and I'm blanking on it. But I've seen her a couple times. I did not realize that she has a very thick British accent in real life, and yeah, she did pretty good. She fooled me both times with the American accent.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. One thing I did notice, just speaking of accents, like I really love, damn it, I always forget her name, but it's the name. In June, the mom, what's her name?
Oh, Rebecca Ferguson, I think.
Yes. She
oh shit, I was right. It was that. Okay, never mind.
What?
That was a total guess, and then it turned out to be not wrong. I thought you were messing with me, Kitteh.
No, I'm really sorry that it's gonna spoil it for you that you know that.
Yeah. Maybe. I think even then, the way that they're kind of showing this, the turn in it is kind of amazing. Like, you kind of think it's one type of movie, and then at 33 minutes in, some incident happens, and then that's when the titles come up. It's really interesting.
Well, between the name Fresh and between the description about unusual appetites, it was not that hard to assume.
Well, I forgot about it.
It's kind of fun. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know if it would technically be like a thriller or a dark comedy, but it also kind of is in the vein of like a horror. But it is somewhat unique. But yeah, it's really kind of interesting. I dug that one the most, I think, out of the three of those. But yeah, it really kind of sucks. This is a really interesting story, but I think it just kind of got lost because of Hulu. Like, I don't know. I don't believe it had any sort of theatrical release. Everything that I'm showing on this doesn't.
I'd never heard of it. even from you guys. Usually I've heard of movies from you guys. Like I know that I heard of 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about it, but what the usual I was explaining to the guys that Gordon chooses the movies, okay? And he usually chooses really well. He chose these 3. He also goes to Reddit to find out what he's got to watch. So he does that in that sort of research. But usually he comes with the suggestions, and I've heard of those films before. So I even have an impression. I know, oh, Charles liked that movie. Zach's like this. My film people on YouTube, I know them. They like that. Oh, even as far as just going, Critical Drinker like that, blah blah. Like I don't go according to what they've done. We just, because there's a certain time we're watching movies, and that's when we're watching, and we just watch what he wants to watch, and it just so happens that I enjoy it most of the time. So that was these were one of the 3. Hey AJ, we're actually talking about some movies today. So I'm just keeping this up here so we could see the fresh thing. So you're saying out of these 3, so actually, okay, so you have at least seen all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And you're saying Fresh was your favorite.
Yeah, out of the 3 of those, it's kind of something that I haven't seen before. I mean, I've seen elements of it, but kind of the ways that they decided to bring it into this film, it was really interesting. I've never seen a horror movie with kind of a, I don't know, what would you call that? Like a Hello Fresh box, like a meal box kit. I hadn't anticipated that. Yeah, it was kind of refreshing, and I really kind of dug that. I just thought on so many different levels, it just kind of seemed unique and kind of working for me. Like it starts out, she's on a date with somebody that she met like on one of the social sites or dating sites, and just the way that it like fades in with the audio, that you're not really listening to him. Like you could really care less what he has to say. You can tell it's not going well, but man, audio and visual, it just kind of gives you some clues. Also,
yes, it does.
When they end up when she meets the nicer guy, if you will, the by chance meeting. Just on their date, it gives you so many little clues, like just audio and visual wise. And then once she goes back to his place just before the titles, man, it just the way that it kind of is giving a slight blur on the camera when it's showing from her angle, but not from his. It just, man, it's really kind of adding a lot to this. I really dug what they were doing. I think the cinematography and just the overall sound design on this really got me. Just hell yeah. I would recommend this one.
Jeremy is not a fan.
Ooh, nice.
Do you want to go over Jeremy's video?
Man. Sure. I would not hate that.
And just
I don't think it's definitely for everybody.
I'm trying to think of. Okay, look. Out of the 3, the one that. Okay, the thing is, I've seen Fresh twice, and I enjoyed it twice. I had forgotten that we watched Fresh, but we carried on watching it. Usually we don't rewatch. We're not watching stuff more than once. And neither of us said turn this off. We're like, we've seen this before, and then we carried on watching. So we knew what it was, and we just carried on watching. It was good the second time around. So that's kind of, I'm I'm sad I've kind of spoiled it for Dorcas, but at the same time, it's still
I have looked it up anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a couple of the elements in there, but man, there's some performances and some tension going on in there. I'm actually kind of looking forward to a rewatch of this. There's an interesting thing going on with the dude's wife. I don't know, like it has one scene. So like the actress has 2 legs, but for some reason in the film, they just show her putting on her prosthetic leg. So it's like they had to spend money for that, but they're not really focusing on it. And then at one point she's kind of like pulling her face back in the mirror as if to see, like what she'd look like with like a facelift or something. It just kind of, I don't know. I do wonder, was she the one who left the previous note, or is she previously in essentially? Daisy Edgar Jones's place.
That was a nice twist to go. That was a nice mystery.
There's just some fun things that it kind of leaves out there for you to kind of piece together. It doesn't hold your hand. That's what I appreciated about it. And then, I thought the overall, every part of it got a word for me. I really like the soundtrack as well.
I need to find. I'm looking for Jeremy's review of it, and that will help us go over. It will get the structure of a review in any case.
Hell yeah! But it's kind of fun. It's a woman dealing with the dating scene, and how women are treated by men. I guess.
I think that will put Dorcas off in the beginning. I think because I also was like, oh my god, what is this? Is this just trying to shove some wokeness down my throat here? And it really did that. And then it just puts that in. It's nice. It's tasteful. Let's use that word, Chinsia, really. Okay, I'm just gonna have to Jeremy. I'm gonna have to look. 92 videos. It's a lot to search through.
He does. The dude makes a lot of reviews.
Fresh. There we go. No, it's telling me Amazon Fresh. It's all trying to make me get Amazon stuff. Fresh movie review. That's not going to help because it's going to just go.
I know I'm sub to him. Let me try and find something. So yeah, Paffy, that is. Try not to spoil that one. The least you know about that one, the better. But I kind of felt like that was along the same lines as some of these films today. That is one of them that I was going to suggest.
Hey, Sparkles. Okay, fresh movie review. That's Possessed by Horror. That's not Jeremy. Come on, that's so dumb. This should be a hello. I'm fresh movie review. I'm gonna have to. Can't I search his channel?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do too.
How do you search his channel?
Yeah. Slowly. But Hydra, I don't suppose you've seen any of these three, even Cloverfield, even though that was. Oh wait,
he said he hated
it. I've seen. Yeah. I wouldn't say. Well, let me preface this by saying that I am the one who is very weird about movies because I don't like them and I rarely watch them. So take that opinion with a massive grain of salt and give it much, much, much less weight and be softer about taking it seriously because I'm the one who watches very few movies and generally doesn't like watching movies. So me not liking or hating something means very little. But as far as what I thought of it, I personally had a feeling of not liking it. I haven't really searched around in my soul, if you will, properly enough to get a crystal clear, concrete idea of why. But if you were to put me on the spot and ask me why I think I disliked it, was because I personally thought that they could have done a lot more with the whole it being an enclosed space and being the movie being restricted to those couple of rooms, if you will. And I dislike the overuse, I perceive it as overuse of like, oh no, we got a protagonist woman who's chained up by a crazy or bad evil man. Oh my God, she can't escape, she can't run away. She's locked in with he's making advances. Oh no, what are you going to do? Oh, the other guy who's totally not helpful and is totally submissive to the evil guy. How are you going to escape? No, you can't escape. I'm going to brainwash you into not being able to escape. Like it's something within me says like, why are you doing this again? This has been done so many times before and it's not even being done well. Look at this. You could have done X, Y, and Z instead. And then just, I think, I understand what the movie was trying to do, to explore these and that feeling and that situation and uncertainty and like, oh, something is really happening, what is happening. I think they could have done it differently and so that it was more, I don't know. I'm trying. I'm spitballing it, but I'm trying to figure out why I didn't like it. Essentially, I just have these vague, nebulous feelings of it not being fulfilling or I felt it was too vague. Yeah, that's what I can say. Really, I didn't Didn't personally
I
like
like
it.
I like John Goodman.
Did you found it? Did you found it?
I found it. Yeah, that makes sense. Everyone's mileage is going to vary, and you're right. Like there have been a bunch of movies where you're not sure if you can believe the person or not. There is a bit of the unreliable, like narrator thing going on, where you're not sure if you can trust John Goodman. Fair enough. I like it, but everyone's mileage is going to vary a little bit on it.
Hold on, and I just realized something. An example where the whole trust thing is done much better. What's the Tarantino movie where they are all like it's Wild West,
Hateful Eight?
Hateful Eight, when they're all looked in the winter shack, whatever, who killed the guy, coffee is poisoned, etc. I think the whole unreliable, are you the sheriff? Are you lying about? Is there really a gang? That is done much better in that movie. I feel like it. Again, I don't. These are again, feelings that I haven't yet explored and haven't understood really the rationale behind of why my mind perceives it this way. But I think that was done much better with essentially a very similar situation.
Fair enough. It is definitely kind of similar. You're right. Also, kind of like The Thing comes to mind, where you're not sure, if the person in the room is even a person. Yeah. I dig that, and I kind of dig that style where something's off, but yeah, you've got to kind of solve the mystery yourself. And yeah, I mean, for every person, it's going to be a little bit different. For me, it totally worked, but I am, definitely a John Goodman stan. Just after playing Walter and The Big Lebowski, that dude can do anything, and I'm going to love it. I love that guy. But I liked seeing his turn in this thing. Like, that's not the traditional character that Goodman usually plays. Usually he's kind of the jovial guy. I mean, I guess in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He's kind of jovial, but still the Cyclops and the monster. But this is just like a different kind of character for him. I really dug it.
Do you guys want to go over it now, or because I do know that Charles has thoughts of Cloverfield, so I would like to.
Let's do Fresh.
Okay. Him. So let's do Fresh because I also
think he
want
watched
to go
Coherence from what I saw. Yeah. I don't think he saw Fresh, so I think this would probably be the best way to go about it. So
okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
And again, I don't know. I watched Fresh and watched it again and still was able to enjoy it. If you don't feel like I've spoiled it by telling you the end, then yeah. But let's see whether we agree with Jeremy. Okay. Jeremy doesn't seem to be listening to us. But thanks for finding the video. Let's see. He didn't like it. Cancel him. I liked it.
Jeremy. As you know, my channel is dedicated to defending hated movies that I really enjoy. Well, today, I'm going to do the exact opposite.
This
video feels like YouTube for some reason. I don't know why. I just looked at the screen and was like, this is from 2009. That's the feeling I get. I just look at it and it's like...
I love it. I love it because it's just a guy telling me about stuff.
It's a guy with a camera that has a terrible angle and bad lighting, and I like it. It's refreshing instead of some other guy sitting in a studio. So this week, the brand new blockbuster came out. Speaks in the fucking the news speak of like of a mainstream media or an alternate media personality that is also about to drop this video is sponsored by that kind of instead of it's just a guy with a camera that is not even adjusted correct. I love it. I love it so much.
You said it's some guy. I just got to point out this isn't some guy. This is Jeremy Lewis reviews.
To me, it's some guy, and that's I don't know.
Go sub to his channel. This dude's awesome. I really enjoy his reviews. This dude he's the man.
Okay. About ready to be impressed. So now you have
I like the genuineness. That's what I'm digging. But basically, what this movie has done has made him change his whole. He's about loving movies, and now he's saying no. He didn't like this movie. Okay, let's see.
Berate a film I hate that most people seem to really like.
Yes, that's us.
A little film named Fresh. Fresh is a 2022 comedic horror thriller directed by Mimi Cave in her directorial debut. I saw this film on February 28th at my college's theater. And while I liked being at the theater with a bunch of fellow media arts students, I freaking hated this movie.
The performance of no. Okay, why? Why do you think he hated it? Predictions, if he doesn't say it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why. I can tell that this wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea, you know, if you don't like body horror at all. This does have a bit of that. If you do kind of see the dating thing as, I could see it turning off some. It definitely, I had preconceived notions when I saw that she was on a date due to this. It is you, sir. Sorry, I just saw Jeremy commented on it.
We're trying to predict why you didn't.
Oh,
like
hello,
it
it's you. I didn't know. Okay.
Without knowing. Yeah, it's the man. It's Jeremy Hughes.
Are you San Severo from 2009?
Yeah, so we're trying to. Don't tell us why you don't like it. We're going to hear it in the video, but we're trying to pick up.
Okay, let's go.
We're kind of predict. So Gray is saying the dating thing, because it does take a long time to establish that, and you're kind of like, what movie is this? And then Gray, what else?
So I'm thinking possibly the body horror thing. You know, there are elements of this that you've definitely seen something like this before, like somebody that has certain skills that uses it for evil, if you will. There are elements that do feel like you've kind of experienced something like this before, but I don't know. I like the combination of what they kind of put together in this one. And for this being, no, I'm blanking on her name.
Debut.
Sorry, Mimi Cave. Yeah, her directorial debut. I thought it was really a solid piece. I wish I had known about this earlier. I don't know how it like never came upon anything that I've done, any podcasts, any like lists that I've looked at. But yeah, I really kind of like the mystery as it unfolds, and then I'm not sure what he wouldn't like about it though. Yeah, I'm not exactly certain, but I'm interested to find out.
Dorcas, any predictions? Hydra, any predictions?
I don't know. I didn't even see a movie. I had no idea. How could I make predictions?
I think he will not enjoy the pacing, and I think he will not enjoy the cinematography.
Okay.
But why?
Pretty fun cinematography.
Well, before we talk about that, let's establish the plot and what I liked about it.
Okay, there you go. This will help. Part one, the plot.
Fresh is about a woman named Noah, played by Daisy Edgar Jones.
She's nice to look
at.
Which,
to get a date, but nothing.
Well, depending on who you talk to.
People not like her. What the hell?
Well, Rosales and Sparkles earlier were saying,
played by Daisy Edgar.
They're calling her Dead Iger Jones. Come on now. Come on.
That's a pretty
She's
girl.
Very beautiful.
She's a pretty girl.
They're not shoving her down our throats as you're saying.
Daisy
She's a
Ridley.
very talented lady. What can I say? Watch Twisters and try and tell me that she's not talented. Try and spot the fake accent. Turns out she's British. Also, she was just in Where the Crawdads Sing. So, yeah.
Oh, I need to watch that. She has dead eyes in the question. I think in the movie she's supposed to have some sort of dead. She's not, Kitty. She is. I think she's hot. Zax, we are talking movies, Zax.
I agree. She's no Kitteh.
Oh, she's not. I thought you said she's not Kitty. I get it. Okay. Yeah, she's no me. Definitely not. Look. Anyway, she's cute. She's got a little button nose as well. I have the deadest eyes. I'm the school shooter eyes. Yeah.
Is there a difference for you between the cuteness and the hotness? Are they two separate factors? Are they a little bit connected? Are they like two different coordinates on a chart? Or how do you see it?
In her, they mesh together in a pleasing blend of sexiness and cuteness.
I see.
She's not like too pretty, because if you're too pretty, then or too sexy. Like Margot Robbie's just fucking sex. You're just like, whoa, holy shit when you look at her. Same thing with Megan Fox. She was just sex when you look at her. It's like, okay, relax. And then That's nice. That is nice. But when you look at her, she's beautiful and cute and sweet and whatever. Swipe left or whatever you're supposed to do with her. She makes me feel
things. She is not unattractive.
She is not unattractive. But now, if we look at her in the poster, maybe she does show us a bit of dead eyes.
Okay, that looks...
Kind of.
Is she looking at the alien or what? That's my first thought. I just like it's like the frame you see before the monster reveal, or like what
she
is
not Sydney Sweeney, but she's very cute.
Sadly, there's no aliens in this one, but drugs do come into effect. Perhaps it is one of the
body
the
horror.
druggy
I'm
scenes.
expecting Geiger level body horror. Okay, you cannot tone down the level of.
It's so gross. It's so gross. Have you seen
his
this?
face is the worst. Sorry, I just saw Sparkle saying that. Are you talking about Sebastian Stan?
You
don't like Bucky's face?
You know what? I can agree with her because we'll get some pictures. I'll get some pictures up for us, guys. Well, for us ladies. But he irritated me in this movie, but that's because of his character, I think. Seen what? Fresh, the movie Fresh. Okay, sure, Pappy. If you had those in your face, you'd say sorry, overhyped. Okay. So anyway, we're looking at Jeremy's review. Has Copa done a review of this movie? Because we can also watch Copa's review.
Edgar Jones. Noah is trying to get a date, but nothing seems to work until she meets Steve, played by Sebastian Stan.
There we go. Here's a picture for us. Let me just change
the
quality.
Like, you think his face is the worst? Come on, Sparkles.
It's
so many worse faces out there.
Zach wants to know whether he should watch it, Gray.
It kind of depends. I would say yes. On IMDb, I think it gets like a 7 or so. It kind of depends. If you like body horror, it's pretty
body horror.
It's got a bit of body horror in it, a little bit, but yeah. Perhaps you should, but we are watching a review from somebody who didn't like it on his channel. That's almost exclusively movies he likes. So
yeah, it made him make
this your mileage.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to interrupt. Immersion broken. Are you trying to tell me that these two people are dating? That they're struggling to find the significant other with the?
Well,
it's not.
She's struggling. She's struggling to find a date.
100%. Very immersive.
No, guys.
Yes,
hold
suspension
on.
of disbelief. I'll buy that.
No.
So we might have explained this wrong. Sorry. Yeah. Please go ahead, Kitty.
She's not struggling to find a date. She's struggling to find a good date. She's
there we go.
Dating.
That's an explanation. So she's searching for a soulmate, not a date. There we go. That's
a very bad date. Like she has bad dating experiences.
Okay, good.
Well, then
over words and phrasing. Yeah.
It does appear that she has no issue getting a date, but these people aren't necessarily after the same thing, and they're not necessarily quality dates. It opens with kind of a classic bad date that it's pretty fun. Made me chuckle.
Congo, go and subscribe to Zach's. He was talking about that Event Horizon on What's Good Wednesday on his channel this morning. This morning for us.
I might have been overselling this by calling it body horror. There is certain aspects of horror, and it does happen to bodies, but I wouldn't exactly call it like the same as Event Horizon or, The Thing.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I so would. Sorry. What's wrong with that? Come at me, bro.
Come on. Okay. What's better than 1A? 2. Come on.
No, when she hits that, I will listen to complaints. Listen.
Personally, I'm a fan of AAA batteries, but
yeah, no, they're great. I mean, the form factor alone.
Oh, guys. Okay, so let's continue. Event Horizon rules. Look, so Zach, don't. These are just to give you a thing of what we're doing with the film centric thinkers. It's just we're gonna do it every now and then. And these are the 3 movies we're discussing because I just happened to see them and wanted to talk to my nerd friends about it. So we're talking about Fresh on the right-hand side now. Okay, cool. So and Jeremy was in chat and he said he made this video and he didn't like it. So we're using this as our structure on which to grow our thoughts.
Stan at a grocery store.
that's what's so funny. He picked her out in the grocery store. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
No implications there. Yeah.
Mm.
It's not just, you know, I'm sure she has full autonomy and everything. He views her as an equal.
They hit it off, and Steve offers for the two of them to go to his house. This turns out to be bad, as Steve drugs Noah, and when Noah wakes...
Do you see that? That sounds like it happens quickly. It's not. It actually...
I marked it down. It's the 33-minute mark, and then that's where the titles come in too. Man, I really loved how it did it. It also the font that it uses is quite fun, and then it kind of does that. I know the effect in Photoshop, but it's kind of puts the lettering in the background, but things can kind of pass through it. It's kind of
within.
It's somewhat. Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's on the back wall. It's quite fun the way that it does it. Actually.
He knows what he wants and he takes it. Oh yes.
This is why people don't go to other people's houses alone on first date or whatever. Like it's
no. Oh my gosh,
it's not their first date. She does bring him back to her place on the first date, but he is resistant. He puts up a bit of a barrier, kind of. It is. It's interesting, but this isn't the first date.
But Hydra, there is a bit of you know, like, because also it's true crime. I'm like, no, she's so stupid. Why would she do that? Don't go, because she goes. The thing that he drugs her when they go away for a weekend, and she's going away for a weekend with this guy after being on one date with him, and spending lots of time with him. But they're supposed to go away for a weekend, and that is like you're screaming, no, don't do that. But he's so nice. And that they showed you how ugly the other guy was before. Like, and I say ugly as in like he was a dick. He even called her a bitch or whatever.
Chad was a total dick. Chad was not cool. Even though Chad had a really cool scarf, you know, it turns out he's not a good man.
Yeah, fucking scarf in the in the thing. We have to do basically a watch party or something just to go through. But okay, let's see. So yeah, it takes a long time. You're like, what movie are we watching? I do remember in the beginning going, why did my husband choose this movie? Because I was like, it's a movie for me. It's about dating and stuff, and it's a drama. I'm like, where does this mystery start? So I think that could be a complaint, like you said. The way you said it, Dorcas, is the pacing. I mean, great.
The first 33 minutes of it does seem like they're going into a different genre completely, and then it kind of takes a turn, which is fun. I think they successfully did it.
I think it's great. Because that's how crazy it is in a horror situation like that. You are manipulated, and they completely turn into this other thing. It's really cool.
Wakes up, she's chained to a bed, and Steve
she's not chained to the bed. She's like chained to the wall.
Reveals that he sells human meat on the black market and plans to...
Did you really have to use that picture, Jeremy? You shit.
To cut up Noah's meat.
Oh, he liked some stuff. Okay.
Okay. So here's what I liked about Fresh.
Don't you dare say nothing.
The first half is really good. It's a very clever send-up of rom-com tropes that's really well acted and not...
He actually likes the first part of it. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's fun, and it does take a turn, but fair enough.
Yeah. Well, that does make me go, oh my God, thank God I'm married. That's my thing. But then again, the bad guy in the movie is married.
Not too on the nose. There's a character named Chad, played by Brett Deer. And
not too on the nose, except his name's Chad.
He's pretty funny. He feels like a character from a slasher film or a Final Destination movie that just happened to intersect with this movie. Incredibly pretentious, rude, and condescending, yet still pretty enjoyable.
Well,
Chad,
I mean, they are going on their first date, and he seems somewhat considerate, this Chad fella, in that he calls her up ahead of time to make sure that she brings cash, because, you know, this restaurant only accepts cash, and she's got to pay for her part of it. So, I don't know. He seems considerate.
And you have this girlfriend. What did you think of? Okay, so she has a girlfriend, her friend, who is she's sharing these dating experiences with. Okay, so she's got and yes, ooh, it's a lesbian or a bisexual person, whatever. So that could also turn you off if you focus too much on it. But they didn't. It's not all about her sexuality. It's just little lines that just make a little bit of representation along the way, and yeah, that's it. She's still herself. But yeah, she will be on the phone with her friend and say, "Oh, I'm going to the States," and say, "Oh, he's asked me if I brought cash because I have to pay." And then there's these conversations that you expect, but with girls in the modern day, it's like, oh, like in the dating world, like navigating that, like, oh, do you pay on the first date? Do you this? Do you that? And there are some things that I didn't like about her as a character. I'm like, just get over yourself. It is the first date. Pay. God, there's nothing wrong with that. But then you get into it and you realize the guy's not actually that much fun to be with. Okay. Let's continue, Chad. Biff did nothing wrong.
That is the kind of character you love to hate. Also, Daisy Edgar Jones and
I don't love to hate that guy. Do you? Gray?
Sorry, I was muted.
That?
I was just talking to myself. I've been kind of soured to the actual actor. His name is Tom Wilson, I want to say. I'm forgetting it, but apparently he really has a sore spot. He's a comedian with a guitar now. So if you go up to him and ask him about anything, Back to the Future, he doesn't seem to like it. He doesn't seem to like to be referred to as Biff. He's definitely not leaning into it. So I don't know. That being said, I really liked the guy until I found out that he's kind of a jerk in real life.
Aww.
But it would suck to forever be known as something you did in your 20s. I did a lot of stupid shit.
Well, Joffrey, like the guy that played, he guesses like the kid that played Joffrey.
Well, it could be beneficial for an actor, but it could also it could play out numerous ways. You could be like, oh my god, what a great villain performance, or you could be stuck in the villain zone forever, or thanks to the internet, you will now forever be remembered as an asshole. And it could.
You're Homelander, yeah. That's it. You play it so well. Sorry, you just did it so well that everyone thinks it. But if you turned out to be the asshole, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Jay. We are doing a film-centric thing on Fresh, Coherence, and 10 Cloverfield Lane. We're talking about Fresh at the moment.
And Sebastian Stan have great chemistry. Both actors work really well together, and I wouldn't mind seeing them together in another project. Molly is also a really good character.
Yeah, I enjoyed
It's
Molly.
the friend.
Yeah.
Friend. She's the boxing friend who you believe could actually maybe fight. But they don't overpower her in this movie.
They didn't, yeah. She's quite funny, and I don't think her actions are over the top. I think it's what you do. I like how they look. I guess you could twist it in what happens with the guy at the end, but it's pretty funny. I liked it actually. I didn't want him to die. I really didn't want that guy to die. So at the end, there's a guy that is her friend who actually could be coming to save them. So you kind of hope that he's coming. But
when you said that
sees,
guy, I thought you were talking Sebastian Stan. But the guy. So he's a bartender friend of theirs named Paul. I thought what they did with him was really fun. It's kind of like Get Out, I suppose. There is a character who kind of has this meta moment of like, no, my character wouldn't survive this. It's kind of fun. I always like that kind of turn.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I played Satan. Great.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm just slow. Yeah. Oh, that's not it. That's the one. Sorry. I played Satan in a stage play for church and had a youth group afterwards ask to pray for me. A lot of people have had a hard time separating fiction from reality. I get that a lot too, J-Mac. I've had a lot of people tell me they'd pray for me. Hasn't helped.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, you were just too good. You took it too seriously. Don't do it again. Why is it take everybody with us? There we go. Thanks, Jay. Do we have a clip of that? I want a clip of that.
I would like to see. Do you have your Satan reel? We need to see your Satan reel. Sir.
I'm thinking of like of these kids being scared of you. Yeah, it would be great.
Sure. She's Noah's best friend, and not only does Jonica T. Gibbs do a good job in the role, but Molly has really good lines, works well off Noah, and her subplot works really well with the story. And the cinematography is great.
Ah, Dorcas was wrong. Well, I mean, Dorcas just gave a prediction just because I made him. So
that's what this like the cinematography in this. They do some really cool shit. So I was afraid that it would be kind of spoiling some stuff a little bit earlier, but when she first gets drugged, just what they end up doing with the cinematography and the sound, it keeps kind of showing from Sebastian Stan's point of view and then hers. But every time it's showing hers, it's getting just a little bit more out of focus. It's just a little bit hazier, and then the sound kind of starts going. It's really fun. I thought they really did well with that.
Let's see what this is the trailer just to give you guys more of an idea, because I mean I feel like Gray and I are just talking and around you know, all of us who have seen it are just talking around you guys.
And the trailer opens with the opening shot too, which is kind of fun.
The women in our parents' generation, they were more into femininity.
So there's Chad. Oh,
that is the Chad, but
this,
as they did with the sound design there, where like, you know, you get the fish tank and it's really kind of underwater muffled. She doesn't care. She's not really paying attention. It's that little shorthand that like kind of puts you there. I dig a lot of what they did with this film.
Sparkles, listen up to this, how this man speaks. I hope that they keep this in this scene. What makes him so annoying? Look, he's a good-looking. See, Hydra. The thing is, he's a good-looking guy. She's a good-looking girl. You're like, cool. You guys will get along, right? That's it. That's as easy as it is. No.
You know what I mean? Because I think you would just look great in a dress. But I mean, if you were
pretty much. So like, that's supposed to be. You could take that as like this really woke moment. Like, look how horrible men are, whatever. You can lean into that hard, but also just the backhandedness of this guy. Either way,
it's not. Even if you want to say that, like that was like about the one of the most rude ways to say that.
Like I don't care. It's not, and I don't feel like the movie is just saying men are like this. It's like this.
No,
is dating.
one guy is trying to portray a character like this. Just don't pay. There is a very wide gap between having an asshole in a movie versus painting 50% of the human race as all assholes. Okay.
Yeah. How the way he's wearing it to me. But yeah,
okay, that scarf is pretty cool though. Yeah.
I like that scarf, but the thing is that apparently it's a red flag. And I'm just thinking,
why is it a red flag?
Because it's super gay apparently.
Great in a dress.
So he says to her, you'd look great in a dress. The whole context of this conversation at this date is that he's busy basically saying, first he brings it out as women these days dress so casually. Women, and then he brings it back to her and goes, you'd look nice in a dress. And it's like,
Well, there's one more little barb in there too. He's like, women today, they all wear these oversized baggy, and she happens to be wearing an oversized baggy sweater. So, yeah.
Oh, so you spend a lot of time in this part of the movie, so you don't realize what's coming at all.
But I mean, if you were
pretty much done, actually, thank you.
If it's cool, I'm just gonna snack.
And the way that you're just disturbed by that. Now you see, now I'm noticing what it's showing us, the little hints that it's showing us along the way. It's food, things like that, right? But anyway, let's continue.
Like these leftovers.
I don't know how you do it. Only do it. Dating people.
So there we've got the puzzle piece is how she's doing it. And there are several scenes, shots in the movie of her going through the people. I'm interested, no thanks. And there's some, oh my gosh, they also, I've just forgotten, they did one where she gets a dick pic as well. So there is a bit of playing on that, like, you see this is what it's like to be on dating apps. And just, again, as an old school married woman now, I'm like, oh, thank God, I missed the dating apps. I've just missed it. My friends were on dating apps. I was not. So I'm very happy I never experienced this. And I will lord that over all of you for a very long time.
No, you do not need a man, okay?
I think that sort of messaging could irritate you. You do not need a man. You're an independent woman. That got irritating for me. It's just like, don't be trying that. But you know she's lying to herself. It's fine.
You're such a nice and powerful person that you don't need human connections. That's right.
Yes. Yeah, you don't need human connections at all. It's fine. And then she goes to the grocery store.
Don't play the games. Just be you, straight out the gate.
And look at her, what she's wearing. It is all.
Do you live around here?
And then it's so natural when she meets this guy. So you kind of want her to go for him. You're like, don't be so full of shit. You just speaking about, not wanting a man, and then you go and find the man, or a man comes up to you, and then you reject him. That pissed me off. I was wondering about that. So you get to enjoy that part of the movie, that dynamic. As a woman, I was enjoying it. I don't know what Gordon was doing. He was laughing at it.
Because I live on aisle 6.
Miss Sparkles. Her neck is no monster. That's a normal neck. She's got a long, elegant neck.
And what do you think of him?
I mean, he's got a grape shoved in his mouth. That's kind of weird. But, he knows his way around some produce.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
This was it was cringy, but that's what dating and speaking to each other and flirting is like. So I liked it. Did you like this interaction?
For me, it totally worked. Yeah, I thought it
rom-commy.
Yeah, rom-com.
Yeah, it came off a lot like that. And then they referenced something that I'm interested in. Cotton candy grapes. Who doesn't want to try a grape that tastes like cotton candy? Come on.
That was something.
Champagne grapes are better than cotton candy grapes. Fight me.
Well,
I need this exotic fruit. I live in a flyover state. We got none of that.
Jay, his hair is dumb. I agree with Jay. I'm not a fan of men with hair anyway.
Was kind of terrible.
Okay, so then you also it does that like.
What's his Instagram?
Oh, and then she already decides. Red flag.
I want to stalk a little bit. He doesn't have one. Say what? Yeah. Oh no. See, that's shady.
So then you're sitting there going,
why is it shady to not be on a specific form of social media?
Exactly. You're thinking that. I'm like, that's fine. People are fine.
No, in fact, that probably means they are further away from some of the extremist brain rot that infests the internet nowadays, which might mean that they are a calmer, nicer person that is more generous and loving towards its fellow humans. Okay?
Or they're a cannibal.
Yes, and there is no in between. Absolutely. Like, what is more likely? Well, yeah, that's fair.
Let's play a game. Tell me something you don't want me to know.
I hate this. Okay. Don't fill all our hopes of finding happiness.
So actually, look how much of the trailer was spending on that part of the movie. So that's cool.
Which is pretty awesome because most trailers give away the entire movie. This hasn't so far. We're more than halfway through.
Oh, also, the ending song by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, absolutely amazing. It's what's playing right now.
You are all dickmatized, and I haven't even seen this dude. What's going on?
Dickmatized. Lol, everybody. She said dickmatized.
I'm gonna tell you.
Sparkles, what do you think of this man? I don't.
He's got a
okay. Now he looks like a
better than Scarf.
Now
right?
in this shot, it's like.
Is it just the black turtleneck? Can you ever wear a black turtleneck without looking like a villain?
I feel like his hair is dumb.
No, that's.
I feel like his hair is dumb. The turtleneck. Look, I'm not into it. But I do want because I remember I was commenting on.
I just realized why my brain immediately went to Star Trek. Look, those paintings look like windows, and then it's like a planet surface or like a gas giant or something, wavy.
Why is his house and his house?
It's so like Star Trek, because it's out the window, planet is out the window. That's immediately when my brain went. But those are nice. It looks great.
I do. Okay, Sparkle says this. She's like, he has a face I would hate. It's like, stop. It's an irritating face. Stop.
He's got a perfectly lovely face.
You see, guys, it's not easy to please a woman with you just look.
Bucky,
I've got the chiseled jaw, I've got everything. I'm perfect. No, no, your face just does something to her and it just doesn't work. Sorry for you.
But you're gonna freak out.
Like what Gordon said to me when I said, I'm not so into this guy. He's like, what? It's Bucky. So I'm like, I guess I liked him as Bucky, but I don't like him like this.
So this shot right here is they do kind of a slow burn on this where they're talking, but every time it kind of keeps showing from her perspective, it's getting a little bit blurrier. That's right at the end of it. So it's not like it goes from 0 to that, but it's kind of fun. I dig what they did there.
You're gonna freak out.
Yeah.
No, this isn't happening.
Well, so it tells you in the trailer, 30 minutes in. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's happening.
My jaw is on the floor. Okay, so it's marketing. It's because listen, I didn't have any marketing.
I hate that. My mind is immediately went to the cliche line of this isn't happening. Really, bro? Really? Is that what you're gonna really?
You get a bit annoyed with that, but you're like, okay, girl is in a traumatic experience. That's
I know, but still, I hate it. I hate the movie. I'm sorry. I hate.
And Miss Sparkles, his name really isn't Bucky. It's Sebastian. Come on.
Sebastian.
So much less weird.
Yeah.
He goes by Bastion sometimes.
No games. Know what you wanted?
How did you feel about the dancing in the movie?
I thought it was really kind of fun. So the guy obviously isn't. So they do a couple dances together, but also he kind of does a happy dance. Well, it's just him alone while he's preparing the boxes. I don't know. I kind of liked it. It didn't seem over the top like choreographed, but it is kind of weird that him and Daisy just knew the moves like right away. But fair enough. I thought their dance at the beginning was a little awkward, but towards the middle of the movie where they dance again, I kind of liked it.
I preferred that one. Yeah. I didn't like his solo dance. He does. I was like, I see what you're trying to do with his villainousness and
wait. So it keeps off the whole thing when he's doing after the reveal. He's just dancing away, doing his job happily.
And he's happy with. Yeah. But we see him. She doesn't see that.
I mean, he makes these luxury products. I think it would make you quite happy to be such
a
successful luxury businessman.
Okay, I really do hope. Again, I didn't say this, and take it with a grain of salt because I'm generally not a movie guy who doesn't it's hard for a movie to impress me or for me to like it. Okay, but I really hope that they address how he's doing this regularly and never once got caught by any law enforcement.
Oh, you see the immersion.
Went to grocery store. Wow, women in this grocery store. And the man left, and then the man is back on the grid, just like agree, but the woman is never heard from again. And they never track down where she went, who she interacted with, no calls on the phone, they never face it back. Like, I'm sorry, this could not happen, this could happen like once, twice, and then like immediately there will be an investigation and the circle already would be shrinking down on this guy. Like, I really hope that they put an explanation on how he gets away with this regularly, otherwise I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, he does. Well, they don't really, but considering this true crime stories that I've heard, it wasn't that bad. It actually it was, and also just within the context of the movie, you're taken in. If you just the suspension of disbelief, I don't know.
That's what I don't have. That's why I dislike a lot. It's very hard for me to suspend this.
And to answer Item's question. He was saying, what's the Rotten Tomatoes score for this one? 81. It is certified fresh. Fresh is fresh.
Fresh is fresh.
It's about giving yourself over to somebody, becoming one forever. That's love.
Oh God, I just hate the eat. The way that they filmed the eating, very good, because it just it makes you feel icky about it, and it's beautiful.
There's some weight to
also
it.
the meat.
Yeah, there's a lot of shots of meat in this. I dig it. If you're currently going carnivore, it probably will get the juices flowing. Good times.
look out for one of the things he says early in the movie about what he eats. We won't say it, but I wonder if I'll speak to Gray about it later. There's their dancing. Also, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, the song that is on play here that might be cut out in the post thing is Off With Their Heads.
Forget this.
There's that guy, forget this. I've seen this movie. He's out. Was a very, very, very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
It's a straight girl's fantasy come true, right?
Sorta.
Yeah. Anyway,
but now that we've kind of seen it and we've gushed over it a bit, why does Jeremy hate it? I'm sure there's a reason.
It reminds me of one of those movies where, like, oh my god, the monster appears and he starts to kill people, and the police don't believe anyone, and the people start disappearing, and there is
people
a
would have to know.
But oh
first.
no, he just slipped and fell. It's like I'm sorry, it's with horror movies. My brain is immediately like, and how are they going to explain? How is the movie going to go on for so long and make these vast claims like, oh, this guy has been doing this for a long time. And he stayed in the same place, in the same house, and doing it over and over again. And not once has the police got wind.
They might address all of those concerns. And they did it in a pretty decent way. It was believable enough for me.
Because you see how she was lured in.
Yeah.
You see how she
subtly, in what seems like just banter, he is finding out information about her. Like, hey, what about your friends, your family?
How many?
It turns out she doesn't have a lot. So,
and you have there is that explanation, Gray. You're right, because she speaks to other victims, and they don't have people either. So he selected them in a way that they wouldn't, which is what serial killers do. Is they select people that are less dead, that will be less dead.
Yeah, and they still get caught very quickly. So
you wouldn't know, Kitteh.
I would know.
Exactly. Listen, the serial killer has the advantage of being able to choose the place of the crime, or how he does it, or where he goes, or how he escapes. He has the choice of it. This guy doesn't have it. He commits the exact same crime in the exact same place over again. His business is not mobile. Like, it's, to me, you are expecting me to believe that you could go on longer than a serial killer when you should be caught faster than a serial killer, because you don't have all of the tools that the serial killers have.
No, serial killers, they do also not have mobile operations all the time. There's people that have.
Like, some of the most successful ones are literally just, a silent sniper rifle in a car and shot someone from 1,000 meters away and drives away, and it's like insanely hard to figure out from where and extra, and they still get caught within days. Like, it's I still, and that is one of the most ideal ways to serial kill people. It's just from an insane distance when no one can see you, no one can hear you.
But that's not fun. Because you don't get to belay them.
Fun, but I'm not talking about how much serial killers enjoy it. I'm talking about how fast they get caught, even when they take all of the precautions.
This guy cannot take.
My brain is too rational for this. Okay, I'm sorry.
This is inefficient. Okay, Hydra.
Yeah, it's not like
this is inefficient.
More inefficient and terrible operation you are running. You suck.
Hydra has been captured by the guy, and he's like, this is, you know what, you're gonna get caught, eh?
It's like you are the worst serial killer human flesh processor I have ever seen in my entire life. Your entire operation sucks. Your place is inefficient. Your tool sucks. Your method is horrible. And
this is how you're gonna fail.
Amateur work. Absolutely horrendous.
Are you writing this, Dorcas? I hope you're being inspired by this. Okay, write us a scene of Hydra being. Yeah, I'm a detective. Okay, so let's see what let's continue with Jeremy's thing here.
I have with it, which I'll discuss later, but for the most part, Fresh is really well shot. There are some moments where the film is really cool, and that's coming from someone who doesn't notice cinematography that much. Also, the opening credits are really cool. The choice to have the opening credits where the horror starts is really clever. The music is nice, and I love the retro font. It makes the credits look visually distinct. Not on the level of films like Biodome and Drop Dead Fred, but a cool opening credit sequence nonetheless. And for the most part, that's it.
Oh,
well,
great.
there's one more
that's a really good thing.
thing, but I can't talk about it until we talk about the bad stuff.
Okay.
Buckle up, because here we go. There are two main problems with Fresh. It takes itself way too seriously, and it tries too hard to be artsy and weird.
Okay, I can see that in the dancing when he's dancing. Maybe that feels a bit try hard, but it's still good. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, I definitely seen some films that come off like way too artsy and pretentious. I didn't get that feeling from this one, but everyone's mileage is going to vary. It's very subjective. The dancing is the main thing that I'm kind of coming to, where it's like, maybe it's trying, but even then, I guess the way that it's shot while he's like putting the boxes together, it's kind of stylish. He is also dancing during that time. Maybe he's talking about that. The other thing is, like, there is this mysterious organization or whatever that might be bigger than him. It doesn't really go into that. That might be something that he's talking about where it takes it too seriously. I think that just leaves the door open of, if this was successful, you could go on and explain other parts of this world. But fair enough.
So it's even easier to catch him because he has strings all over the place. Nice. Okay.
Maybe. So he is making these like boxes, and he is like hand doing like the note and like the pictures and all these things. And he's like licking the envelope. So he's not like concerned that he's going to be caught. It really does seem like it's a bespoke box.
It's a bespoke service, and what it's like $30,000 for one thing. It's very
like preset drop points at the very least, so that the delivery man doesn't open it by accident.
He's got a specific delivery guy that takes care of it. It's not just some guy who just takes, because you look at it and you're like, those boxes are just there, bro. It's like, no, but they've got this guy that delivers to specific people, and also gives you the idea that these are very powerful men as well. Some of them are, so they could probably help him evade capture.
Because that means the rivals have all the more motivation to expose them, and they have more resources at their fingertips than regular police.
And he also
he's got the market cornered with these particular bespoke boxes, though. He doesn't have rivals yet. Perhaps
the organization that he's working for, the people who use the services of his organization.
It's his.
I understand.
I think it's his.
All I'm saying is, it's very easy to accidentally tug on a single string, and the whole thing will unravel very quickly.
Sparkles.
Sorry, I'm just over here saying, like,
but I want you to watch it and see if it can
miserable security.
Okay, we are totally going to watch this.
Stylistically, how does this compare to the menu?
So that is one that I would definitely bring up. Like films kind of like this, if I had a suggestion. The Menu would be one of them. Kind of Barbarian or like Ready or Not would be somewhere along there. It does look a little bit more rom-com-y, like with The Menu and like Ready or Not. They're kind of dark. Everything has kind of a darker tone to it. This doesn't necessarily. It kind of gets dark at certain times, but yeah, they're not far off. Those are ones that I would say are similar.
Yeah, I get the same. I think just the high class food preparation feel. You get that, in the shots of the food and things like that. Anyway,
let's start with the first problem. Now, there are two ways to do a horror comedy. The first is to all but completely eliminate the horror and just use it as a set piece for comedy. And the second is to have an equal balance of horror and comedy, with there being a lot of scary elements, but it takes itself less seriously than a traditional horror film, and there are some comedic moments thrown in. Fresh is clearly trying to go for the second way, which on its own is perfectly fine. The problem is that, in my opinion, it doesn't do a good job of balancing the horror and comedy. While there are some moments of humor, most of the film focuses on Noah and her being chained up and tortured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's mileage is going to vary. Like, it is very subjective, but I laughed at the beginning. I thought her troubles with dating, that got me to chuckle a few times. The friend, she's got a couple of quippy lines. When that Paul guy shows up and kind of does the nope thing, that made me laugh. There's a bunch of parts that I found quite comical, and also and then it's also a dark humor as well, like kind of what they're doing with the food and everything. Like I don't know, it does have a bit of comedy to it, but it's definitely not, it's a different type. It's definitely a dark comedy. I think they were really successful with it, but everyone's mileage is going to vary. A lot of people don't find there's a lot of different ways. So he kind of sets it up as this binary, like either you can play into the comedy and not really deal with the horror. Like that's one way you could do it, but there's so many other variations and so much blend of both that you can kind of do. I don't know. I think it's going for a slightly different tone than either Scream or I can't remember the other one that he put up, but fair enough. I just think there's different styles of doing it. I don't think they were trying to ape either of those styles.
Yeah, I think I agree. I actually did like the comedy of it, and just the lighter moments of it. Like at the end, there's even a really nice moment as well. It's just like, I fucking love you or something like that. Like, it's I enjoyed that. I think it was nicely sprinkled around. Yeah.
There was one more pretty big laugh for me. The very last scene where like all of a sudden like her phone kind of goes off right at the end. I wasn't expecting that. And I thought that was funny. It did make me chuckle on the way out.
Yeah, that last thing. You up? I think it was. Yeah, fuck you, man. Just like done. But I had a Hydra moment with that. I was like, her phone wouldn't have lasted that long. My phone's fucking dead. So yeah. It's not even an iPhone. I don't think it was an iPhone.
Bucky was carrying it around with him. Maybe he was charging it a lot, but yeah, good point.
Which distracts from the comedic elements and makes the film feel uneven. Compare this with something.
I forgot the other part that made me laugh. Her ringtone. It happens to be the theme from Golden Girls. That just made me chuckle.
Yes.
Like I don't know when I just heard the ringtone. Yeah, it's just awesome. I think, again, it's going to be different for everybody, but I got a lot of chuckles out of this, more than I get out of a lot of just straight up comedies. So I don't know. For me, it was effective.
Yeah. For me, I would also agree.
Like the woman in the house across the street from the girl in the wind.
I haven't finished that.
No. Unlike Fresh, the woman perfectly balances both horror and comedy. There's equal time given to both the jokes and the scary atmosphere, meaning you're able to feel both. But
I felt both.
Fresh focuses too much on the horror and not enough on the comedy.
I think if it went harder on the comedy, it would feel unbalanced. I think it was nicely balanced.
I wasn't expecting something like Terror Vision, but I think the film would have been stronger if it focused more on the absurdity of the cannibalism and less on the ramifications.
I think maybe he didn't connect with those scenes of the meat and stuff, because that gives you so much horror and so much that then when it comes back to the comedy sort of stuff, it's okay. It's balanced. Because the absurdity of the cannibalism is there for me. It really hit. I guess it didn't hit for him. Because it's great. I like the great. If you're talking, we're not hearing. I did pause a little in case you could interrupt me, but you don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
I was not talking. Sorry about that. Don't know if my PNG was going off.
No, it's cool.
Of Noah and the other girls being tortured. Then there's the fact that the film tries way too hard to be artsy and weird. Many people have praised the cinematography for this film, and I agree. This film is really well shot, as I mentioned earlier. But at the same time, there are certain scenes that try way too hard to make this film seem more artsy and creative than it is.
Okay.
For example, in one scene of Noah and Steve interacting, you can see them dancing in a weird way.
That was
stylized way.
Yes, it's like, oh, look at us, we're watching Pulp Fiction. That's, I suppose.
Felt so much try-hard energy from that moment.
But I understood that there is that kind of try-hardness, but I enjoyed it anyway. It was still... That actually helped with the absurdity of the situation she was in.
Well, she is trying hard in that moment, like really hard.
Yeah, so it works. Whereas when he's by himself dancing, it does feel a bit more try hard. But yeah, I was like, okay, this does make me feel Pulp Fiction. I don't know why, but then it continued and it worked. I liked it.
I am a weird media connoisseur, from recognizable and well-known to stiff odds levels of obscure. And what makes the good weird media work is how it's weird not to impress the audience, but just because it's weird. Stuff like 12-Ounce Mouse, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and Noel Fielding's luxury comedy are weird regardless of what the audience thinks.
They're absurdist comedy.
Okay.
It's really fun. But yeah, it's definitely meant to weird people out type of comedy. It's fun.
But if not, they can just leave. And while Fresh isn't meant to be as weird as those examples, it feels like a lot of Fresh's weird moments are meant more to make the film appear more interesting rather than to genuinely be weird and amusing.
To him, it feels like it's trying to be edgy when it's just not. But I don't agree.
Maybe. I mean, this is her debut. The director, now I'm blanking on her name again, Meanie Cave.
Meanie. Yeah.
It looks like she's done a bunch of music videos and a few shorts before, but this is her first feature length. So I don't know. Perhaps
music and dancing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps she hasn't like truly learned to master this so that it's as effective as it could be. But I don't know. Worked for me.
And while there are multiple other problems with the film, like the uneven tone, too much intensity, a lack of moral center, and its lack of embracing comedy, most of these and other problems stem from how the film tries too hard to be serious and artsy. But remember earlier when I said there was one thing that I liked but didn't mention yet? Here's where that comes into play. Well, there are some things.
Also, just if you haven't noticed, that is the song he's put the song in between.
In the second half that are all right, like Molly's subplot. Steve is easily the best part of the second half. Unlike Noah, who gradually gets worse as the film goes on, Steve gradually gets
Shots
better.
Fired.
Not only is the chemistry between Daisy and Sebastian still really good, but Sebastian really brings his A game. His scenes give this film a dash of absurdism. It's so...
So that's where I would disagree, because like what Daisy is doing in this, she's putting so much into it to make Sebastian interested in her. Like she gets an encouragement from an unexpected place, and she really starts leaning into it, and it seems to be really effective, and he seems to be buying it, and he's essentially falling in love with her. I think that all goes to her performance. To me, it really works, but fair enough. Sebastian Stan does just kind of keep playing the same character, and he gets to just kind of reveal what his true character is like, where she has to adopt this new character. So
yeah,
fair enough. I can hear what he's saying, where it's like, she becomes but she's becoming this thing that he would like to, show that she could get out of here. So I don't know. I like it, but fair enough. He is kind of fun to watch as a, deranged person.
Yeah, the way he's like trying to just act, he still likes her, but he's also just fucking cooked. Like, it's insane.
Desperately needs. Steve acts incredibly chill and casual, being fully aware of how horrible what he's doing is, yet despite still...
And he's just like, are you done? Don't shout. Like, I like that. I like the way he's just like, okay, yeah, you're here, but then you just... Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, cool, you're gonna die. It's fine. Just get over it.
Caring for Noah, really doesn't care about the ethical ramification of what he's doing, and does things like slice up human limbs while listening to music and having a casual conversation with Noah while he's removing her butt. It's not
really casual, because she's quite scared, and he's just like, yeah. And I guess that's the villain bit of it. That's what I guess that's what he's saying is cool, is that he's just a fucking villain because he goes up taking your ass.
He's pretty proficient in what he does.
Performance that makes me want to see Sebastian Stan appear in more horror comedies, as he really has a knack for this kind of stuff. If the film just embraced Steve's lunacy and went in a direction similar to the 1980 horror comedy Motel Hell.
Wow.
Do you
That's
agree?
an interesting pick. It is kind of absurd, and
that's too much.
They lean hard into that one. So I kind of disagree. I like the tone that they hit, but I understand what he's saying. Like they could have gone way more into it, and it could have been more of his story. But he's definitely not the main protagonist in this. We are kind of with Daisy for most of this.
I think if they leaned into too much of his absurdity, I would feel that try hard stuff. I would be like, because I already got that feeling from his dancing and stuff. So if they focused on him more and like had him smiling and changing mood and things like that, being a bit too flashy in his craziness, I think I would feel like it's try hard. So I don't agree with that.
This could have been all right, but no, we have to focus on Noah and all the other people being locked up and the mess.
Yeah, because they're the victims.
Up dynamic between.
It does kind of bug me that her name is Noah, though. Like, so you'd think Noah, like you've seen it spelled one way. It's like Boa, Noa, for some reason. I don't like that. That does kind of get on my nerves, but fair enough. I'll let that go.
Even Noah and having ugly, intense scenes.
Oh, did you enjoy the joke that she makes? I think you guys need to. She makes some pretty cool jokes because she's trying to make him like her. It's pretty good.
I'm not saying that Noah should have died.
It kind of seems like you're saying she should have died, but
you don't care.
She didn't deserve any of this. I'm just saying that the film should have embraced the absurdity of its premise instead of focusing on these darker elements. So yeah, I don't like Fresh.
That's okay.
It's not completely without its merits, but in a way, that makes it worse. A film with no redeeming elements is certainly a torturous experience, but a film with a few really good elements that's overall really bad comes with the sting of disappointment. There are great things in this movie.
He's making sure you're awake.
The first half is solid. The opening credits are creative. The premise on its own isn't terrible. Molly is an all right character and her subplot is decently executed. The acting is really good from everybody. There's not a single bad performance in this movie. And like I said, the film is shot really well. But those two massive problems I brought up earlier drag all those good elements down. I'm probably in the minority on this film, as everyone else I came across seems to eat it up. But Fresh was an absolute chore to sit through. Which is really...
Oh, that's sad.
For him.
I really enjoyed it.
I've definitely sat through a bunch of them that are considered like classics or well-loved movies and just been like, I hate this. I don't understand why people like this. I've definitely been there, but yeah, at least he can actually tell what his issue with it is, and at least he's willing to praise it. Like, there's a lot of people going after Alien Romulus right now, and they're saying like it's 0, and it's like, really 0? Like, come on, like there's redeeming value. I understand everyone's mileage is going to vary, but man, like 0. If people are giving something like a 0, it just, to me, it seems like you're not really taking it seriously.
Yeah, then you're just not. You're not realizing that you. There's a reason you didn't turn it off or leave.
Yeah.
Like if you watched it through to the end, you at least give it a 1 or something. Like give it something.
And
because
he said that it had redeeming value, so it seems like that means it's redeemed.
But that irritated him because he wanted it to be more. So I can understand that when something's almost good, that does piss a person off. Okay, so we've spoken about Fresh for quite a while now. I guess it's just me and you saying go watch it.
Yeah,
nice. I think it's good.
You might not like it, but hey, I think you will. And if not, come at me.
Dorcas, are you gonna watch it? I mean, Detective Kitteh, are you gonna watch it just to see if?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it now.
So the tomato meter gives it 81%. It is certified fresh. And then I think IMDb has it at, I thought it was like a 6.7. So no one's saying it's a perfect movie, but I don't know. You like horror comedies, sir? I'll take your silence as a no. Okay.
I'm generally speaking not a fan of horror. The comedy helps a bit.
What?
I think the dark comedy makes it.
Dark comedy is fun.
Do you like crime things?
I don't claim to like any one specific genre. It's the same with music. It's like I like premises. I like good acting. I like good movies.
Good characters.
So it's how I come to any individual movie has to is more important for grabbing my attention more so than the genre itself.
Okay. Well, I hope you do watch it. I actually hope Hydra watches it just so you can give us an efficiency. Like, go in as a consultant, Hydra, and then give us it. I'm
here from the high table of international criminal organizations. And I'm going to inspect your business if it's up to standard. Yes.
Monster
if nothing
Nick
else. Sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you. Wow, for Monster Neck. Really? Monster Neck and hairline, man.
Monster Nick. Don't get on Sparkle's bad side. She can insult you from a dizzy heart.
Hey, at least that guy has a hairline. I don't know. As one who doesn't have a forehead, I like his hairline. But yeah, Hydra, if nothing else, at least this movie inspired your new business, not mass murder. I guess it would be serial killing consultant. That's kind of fun. You can tell people how to more efficiently run their businesses.
Efficiently kill time.
Criminal organization efficiency and safety inspector. We don't want you to get any of those diseases by constantly working with untreated meat, okay? Are you ensuring the quality of these human subjects? How do you know they don't have internal parasites and you just delivering it to the rich people? You can't do this to our clients. They have to go through a proper stage of inspection.
You said criminal organization efficiency and safety inspector. You know what that stands for, right? Like if you do the initialism, your business is called Cozy, sir. That's awesome.
Nice.
Cozy. Oh, we just cozy over here with our efficiency killing people. I don't watch horror anymore. Real life has become a horror movie.
Oh. It's comedic horror for me personally, but I totally get the feeling. Yeah.
You make. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, awesome. That's a great tagline. We make sure that you make a killing. Right. So look, let's get into the next one.
Sure.
If we can. So you watched Coherence today?
I did. I just finished it a little bit before this. It's a really interesting one. So I didn't realize it was from so long ago. It's 2013.
I thought it was 20. I'm like, God, it's from 2018, 2019. And Charles is like, it's 2013.
Yeah, so it's a bit old, and it's got oh god dang it, I really should have had it up here, but it's Nicholas, whatever his name is, Xander from Buffy, Nicholas Brendan. I have not seen that dude in years, so it was kind of fun to see Xander in there. So that's kind of fun, but it's an extremely low budget or no budget film. Essentially, so the guy who worked on it was doing storyboards for like almost everybody's film. So he did a whole bunch of now I can't remember his name, but he did all the Pirates movies. So he basically storyboarded every one of those Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and then he got his own film Rango. And then after that, he basically tried to get people to finance this thing, and it's a shoestring budget. I guess. They had 5 nights where they shot it, and they shot like 5 hours a night. So he had like 24 hours of footage essentially to go through to make this movie. But they needed some reshoots. So they had like another little bit that they needed to shoot. One of the actresses completely changed her hair. So they had to get like a special wig made. And that wig cost as much as all of the shooting in there. So It sounds like it was about $8,000 was the budget for actual shooting. It's 50 all in, but most of it went to the editor. So yeah, it's an interesting film. I guess also they didn't have really any dialogue written. They just kind of had premises, and then everything is pretty much improvised, which is interesting. But it kind of seems like you need to put the time in on either editing or writing, but either way, there's going to be like a shitload of time if you don't know exactly what you want to end up with. But man, it's interesting. So there's a paradox in this one. It would be interesting to try and do like a paradox movie that is improvised. It's a weird thing that they kind of took on, but this thing has become kind of legendary. I'm surprised I hadn't heard of it before. That's kind of awesome that you stumbled upon it.
Yeah, this is
what were your overall thoughts on it?
It was fascinating, and it actually eventually it got frustrating because I just wanted to know the answer, and also just the way there were lots of clues along the way.
Oh yeah, so many.
In the editing, like from shot to shot, and it was just like, what? And I was trying to figure it out, and I enjoy that kind of movie where I'm actually frustrated with it because I'm trying to figure it out. And yeah,
it's just it's very interesting. So Item is asking, fresh was fresh, is coherence coherent?
It's not.
It's sort of. It is one of those paradox ones, so I'm sure you could find, issues with it, like any time travel one or whatever. This isn't time travel. There's literally, I believe it's called the incoherence is caused by the comet. It's a
trailer.
Yeah, that would be great. That I'm assuming they have a trailer for this one. But it's not incoherent, but it is. You do have to kind of pay attention. Like Kitteh was saying, they give you clues all throughout it. And part of that's because they spent so much money on the editor. He had to go through like 25 hours plus of footage to make this like hour-and-a-half movie. It's interesting, but they take certain things from later on and put it before and can keep changing.
I actually have a note, like once we show this to them, I actually want to talk to you about the way that they are, that their use of just having key events and then improvising around it helps them. Okay, that doesn't help the editor, but it helps the story, because those slight differences that happen, they've got key events, but then the slight wording changes and things like that it works with the premise of the film. So let's go here. So there's a comment.
Movies.com said it's good. Movies.com. They know movies. They said it's good.
They own movies as an entirety. .com.
Is that one of those sites from the early .com bubble that were like, oh my god, I'm gonna own Catholic.com. It's gonna be amazing. It's like, actually, these websites are not that useful unless you have a really good one.
So look, you can see how they filmed it.
Amir's bringing glory today.
Yeah, the audio, it's very much you're just in the room with them.
Amir's a total jackass.
Everyone else still not have service?
I got zero.
On the news, they're talking about the comet.
Yeah.
Mueller's comet.
After it passed.
So that guy that was smiling there. Sorry, you guys always tell me which way do I go frame by frame? How do I go frame by frame on YouTube?
I don't know. I always use the arrows, and that's like a few seconds. There you go.
This guy, not this guy. There, he's the one from Buffy, isn't he?
Yeah, that would be Xander himself. That's Nicholas Brendan.
But what they do in this movie, he is an actor from Roswell, in the movie. Because I was like, is that where I know him from? I feel like they played on that because I was like, I know him from somewhere.
They are adding to that. So there's a whole bunch of different parallel realities that kind of take place. And in one of them, he is the actor from Roswell, apparently.
Okay. Oh, yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
But Item is mentioning the cuts are making my brain hurt. They do something really weird with this. They've got an odd opening, and like about every 3 seconds, like they'll say a line and then it just cuts to black for like a second. It's really weird low camera angles at the beginning, and it's not a steady cam at all. Like, it is so shaky. It's shaking more than like my avatar right now. It's not on sticks. It's not using steady cam. It is just shaky, which is weird for a conversation around a dinner table.
Yeah.
And then everything has this really yellow tint to everything. And some scenes do kind of change from there, but yeah, they made some choices on this one. But yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Do you think that Benjamin should step out, or are we?
It's up to you. I don't think we're going to go through a ton of spoilers on this one. We'll probably go through it a lot quicker than we did the other one. I think I'll give you my assurance. I'm not going to spoil this one for you, but it has to do with paradoxes and multiple realities. It's fun.
Multiple realities, yeah. That the question that this trailer has just asked you is, do you know your friends? Yes, that's why I wanted, because Hydra's got a few, like he's got to go in a little bit, so he won't get to the end movie. But actually, do you want to just Hydra? I want to hear why Hydra doesn't like Cloverfield Lane too. Oh shit! So I didn't schedule this.
Yeah,
properly.
that's
okay. We'll finish the trailer and then it's all about Hydra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Okay. Yeah.
First comment. After it passed, people get lost. They would end up in the wrong home.
What?
And they keep telling people that this can happen.
The chicken tastes.
So you get that idea that's given to you through that conversation that, okay, this comet passing through does something to the world.
It's like tuna. It must be Miller's comet.
I got a fright when that happened.
The whole neighborhood is out of power, except for a house about 2 blocks up.
Mike, is that door locked?
That sound that also gave me a fright. It's the way that the sound is done, I suppose, was really good. Maybe I was just so focused on it, but it gave me a fright.
I'll check it.
Hey, stay away from the door.
I can't stand this. I'm gonna go see what's going on. I'm sorry, but I'm going.
See that?
Oh my god.
The way they behaved irritated me.
This is bad. This is really
Wait,
bad.
what's the box?
That was at the other house.
Oh my god. Baby, what did you see?
Hugh, what did you see?
You don't even belong here.
Everybody knew about
We
this.
thought
He
you
told
knew.
us.
He told us.
Everybody knew about this except me.
We have to just get through the night, okay?
We are not from.
It does rearrange your brain. I was watching everything with the same premise in mind for the next hour.
This house. We are visitors.
I'm crossing all kinds of boundaries.
I don't want to be stuck here.
What is going on?
When you say.
Now,
well, the trailer did a pretty good job of not giving too much away.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was enough to like hook either Blobfish or Hydra, but they didn't give a ton away, so I'll keep it brief and nice. Yeah, exactly. When I saw Xander, I was like, "What has that dude been up to?" Hydra thought.
If they make it make sense, then it could be a good idea. I like the idea of multiple realities. Would be interesting to explore.
Oh, you know what? I would love to have your
if it's
logic.
explored well, unless it's just played off for stupid stuff, then I don't like it.
No, I don't think it's stupid. I think if you could find logical inconsistencies, that would be cool. But you would probably pick them up a lot quicker than I did. I would have to go slowly through them. I'm sure there's ones that would be more obvious to you than they were to me. I'm sure I picked up on like there's one with a plaster and there's a different plaster and some things like that. Band-Aid, sorry. Yeah, very cool. But let's get into Cloverfield, seeing as that's the only one that we've all watched. And also just it's the one that Hydra hates.
Hate is a strong word, okay? I really didn't like it. I don't have an active hatred.
He speaks about it every day.
I don't like it.
Yeah. He didn't like it. Why? That's the point. Because I mean, that was the reason that I wanted to talk to Charles about it, because I said I didn't like the end. and he was like, "Oh, really?" And you're saying you don't like the whole thing.
It is kind of tacked on. Originally, it had a different title. It wasn't called 10 Cloverfield Lane, and it didn't actually connect to Cloverfield at all. They just kind of realized, hey, we could put that twist on this. So I don't know. It's kind of, it is interesting. I could see why you don't necessarily like the ending. It wasn't necessarily supposed to tie them together, and then it's not even the same creature from the other one. Like it is kind of debatable whether or not it is truly tied, except for there's a slushy drink, and then he gets a piece of mail from the company whose satellite fell in the ocean in Cloverfield.
I didn't know that about the other Cloverfield at all. I don't know that at all. So I don't know that part of it. Hydra, did you? You did say you did mention the universe.
All I knew is that it is connected to a universe because of a drink.
Yeah.
That's the amount of information that I was given by a friend.
Okay.
There's two things. There's the second is he has like a piece of mail in his bunker that's from his previous employer, which happens to be the company whose satellite fell into the ocean and possibly woke up the kaiju in the first one.
Oh, okay. So it connects. That's nice.
I recall not liking the Cloverfield paradox.
Yeah, I was not a big fan of that one.
I actually really liked how the end of Cloverfield Lane recontextualizes John Goodman's character. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I really dug John Goodman's character. It's interesting. Like, I dug all of them. There's like 5 characters in this movie. There's not many actors.
So look, yeah, I watched it without context of any of the other Cloverfields, and I enjoyed it.
I guess there's 6 people, and 2 of them are voices on the radio. So I guess there's 6 actors in total in this.
It's been a really long time since I watched it, but isn't it supposed to be a little ambiguous, leaning toward he's lying throughout the bulk of the movie?
Yes. That's what it really kind of...
That's the mystery that you play with the whole way.
And then it's like, no, he was kind of... No.
He was right. Yeah.
But not how he thought he was right.
Yes, that's what I liked.
He only lied about certain events. It does seem to be... it did happen. He is protecting her, but he is the one that put her in that position to need the protecting. I like the way that it unfolded.
Sorry, I'm about to fucking lose it. The whole change of start is already so ridiculous. It doesn't, like, why would you, if you are like, if you have like a protection fetish, why the chains? If you really believe that you're right, again, why the chains? You are the one who ran her off the road. You know exactly what the fuck this, like, you could
it's
have just
not a protection fetish, though.
He's not like a perfect person by any means.
That's the point. We know he's
serious communication issues.
So he is a little bit
Louise.
of an unreliable.
Good to see you again.
Hey, what's up, Louise? So it's weird. He is a little bit of an unreliable narrator in that you don't know if he is telling the truth in any of these. The stories that he tells about like his daughter, and then you finally find the picture of his daughter, but it turns out that's not his daughter. It's like the person that he had kidnapped previously. It leads me to believe that he's more of a monster. He doesn't have this protection fetish. He just has this like need to be in control and kind of keep people against their will. But like if you listen to him, it sounds like yes, he just wants to protect them. He just wants to create this new family.
That's how he would justify it to himself, to be certain.
Yeah, I know that part. I understand that. It's just the way he does it's.
Okay, so does anyone want to?
That it's very my dislike partially stems from the very simple reason that I didn't like once again we have the young woman who is kidnapped and locked into a room or whatever. Oh no, she's chained up again. Or there's really a bad guy again and kidnapped her again. It's like I'm just like, there are way too many movies where it's just, oh no, the young woman is kidnapped. What's going to happen? It's like,
Speaking
personally, I
of-
just got irritated by the trope. It's a very irrational thing, but it's just snuck into my. This is why I'm not a movie person. It's just the tropes get under my skin way too easily. Like it's.
Speaking of way too many movies, just in case it was confusing anybody, Benjamin points out, like, I wonder if some people are confusing the 3 different movies. So we switched back to 10 Cloverfield Lane. So we're talking about the one that we started with, back to the beginning. So yeah, we just watched the trailer for Coherence and then switched to Cloverfield.
Because we just
Sorry
wanted to
about
hear Hydra. Sorry, we wanted to hear Hydra.
My
Hydra
stupid, terrible, irrational dislike for this movie before I have to go. Yes, great.
I think I just didn't like one of the main things he keeps talking about is the oh no, the girl is kidnapped and
yet again, it's just again.
For me,
really?
I guess because I like true crime, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's a personal.
And maybe
dislike.
also because I'm a woman.
It's like a personal preference that I have for like if you're gonna show me the same thing again and again and again, at some point I'm gonna be like, Hydra, why can't the crazy guy just adopt 30-year-olds without kidnapping them? No, it's just I've reached my limit of the young woman being kidnapped by crazy, unattractive guy tropes. Okay, at some point the glass is full, and it's like no more. Okay, you don't just get to do it and rely on that for a drive. You gotta do something else because it's just enough. Okay,
but
this
I
is the
think
same
there was
reason why I can't handle anime, because the same trope just shows up again. Oh wow, another pervert again. Oh, just so happens to fall on her tits again. Just so that it's like I had enough of the trope. I know I can't take it anymore. I don't want to.
This makes sense. What Gray was saying, where he says everybody's mileage is different. I think you just can't. You've got a shorter fuse when it comes to tropes and things.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
You need. Whereas, like the trope, I can get over it because the characters were so interesting, and figuring out the mystery for me was way more interesting than the fact that the fact that the girl is kidnapped, whatever. We had just watched Fresh, I think it was. So I
don't. Yeah, that's just me. Like I don't care how good the characters and the actings are if the movies correlates on the guy in an anime yet alone did an accidental pervert thing and how all of the characters hate him because of it. It's like, and it's totally just a misunderstanding. Like I'm just gonna be like, I don't care about anything else. Please, I had enough of this. Like
this is a theory. Hydra doesn't like it because he's a kidnapper.
I would be of the worst.
This is so unrealistic. I wouldn't do it that way.
Consultant.
No, yeah. First of all, yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be.
But he knows.
That doesn't mean I can't tell others that they are trash at their jobs. Okay.
No, it's interesting to see how people.
Okay, I conduct studies. I'm not an industrial worker in the field. Okay.
I like how. I mean, look, we've just had Jeremy where we completely disagreed about. Well, not completely, but. He didn't like Fresh. Like he will say, he literally made I didn't like Fresh. And we really liked it and would recommend it. And
yeah, I got a feeling you might not have liked Fresh, Hydra. I get a feeling it might be kind of near the Cloverfield lane for you.
Yeah,
probably.
Put that on on the top of me already. Not wanting to watch movies unless it's with someone else really wants me to. Like on my own, I don't really go to watch movies for any reason whatsoever. So it's gonna be really hard for me to like it. That's why I am trying to explain to you guys that you should give very little weight to my criticism and be softer in its acceptance because it comes from a very biased source that doesn't like to interact with movies that much.
Not an overlay.
All of us are biased sources. Nobody's not biased. So
you're allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Sorry, everyone but Blobfish is biased.
It's fine to see tropes everywhere. I understand that. Like, but my problem is the over reliance on the core of the story just being the trope again. You can have the trope, but you have to have other supporting pillars for the whole thing. You can't just have. That trope is going to break its back from carrying another movie for half of its length again for the 1000th time, okay?
Interesting. You know what? The thing is, I noticed the tropes when I saw her chained up. I remembered that we had watched Fresh. And that's actually why we landed up rewatching Fresh. So the trope was there. I saw the similarities, and that's it. I was able to leave it behind. I like how different things, we experience different things. But you know what's also great is when everybody enjoys the same thing as well. Because like hearing Gray talk about Fresh and go, did you like this? Did you like this? That's even if he doesn't like it, just going through, that's what fandom is about. I do like this kind of discussion on thinkers periodically, every now and then. It would be good to do. We just did my films, but if you guys bring films, that would be good, obviously. We'll do it at a different stage. But Hydra, any last thoughts? I do want us to go more in depth with the other two films, but just to close off your interpretation, you're not going to watch any of these, are you?
Well, I would.
Yeah, you would.
Come on, man. Movies are great. Yeah, I thought these were fun films. So I actually want to watch 2 of them again. I think I'm good on Cloverfield Lane, but I wouldn't mind watching Fresh or Coherence again.
Yeah. I haven't watched Coherence the second time through, and I want to watch it, see if I can notice anything else more. But, okay, so, look, we got about half an hour. No, we actually got an hour because we usually start our garlic phone at about 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours in. So I still want to talk about it. Are you guys okay with it? Do we want to go back to Coherence?
Sure. Sorry, I was talking, but I'm muted. I keep forgetting I got the double mute thing going. But yeah, I'm down to go back to talking about Coherence.
Cool. So Coherence, the premise there is there is a comet, and the comet does something mysterious, and we are with these friends at somebody's house for a dinner party after so many years or whatever. They're very close friends. They've been friends for years, and you just watch them go through this weirdness with the comet, and you basically find, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that there are others that are like them, and you have to figure out who's who. That's, if you saw that when you see the trailer where it says, do you know who your friends are, do you know who to trust, that sort of thing. I enjoyed that, not knowing and getting frustrated. Did you get any sort of frustration, or did you just know the answer, Gray?
You enjoyed getting frustrated? I'm sorry, what?
I enjoyed it.
So it's like a problem that you're trying to solve. So like the whole film kind of goes off of the like Schrodinger's cat paradox. So every time there is kind of a decision to be made, perhaps that does create a new reality, if you will. But that in conjunction with this comet creates this incoherence, which allows for you to, I guess they describe it as you go to the darkness, and from the darkness, it's like a roulette wheel. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. I really dug it in that way. I don't know that I truly understood everything or caught everything that they were putting out there initially, but I don't know. It worked for me. I caught a lot less, what would you call it, plot holes than most of the like time travel ones or whatever. It just seemed interesting to me.
It stuck with me a long time. That's why I actually wanted to talk about any of these films was because of Coherence. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because it came down to the philosophical question. I remember one of them that they said, if your significant other, if this person just came in one day and had all of your significant other's memories, knows everything that your significant other knows, basically is a carbon copy and has all of the brain and everything that your significant other has, would you still be okay with that? And it's like the discussion then becomes, is that okay? Is it actually, you be okay with that? And for me, knowing that it's a copy, even if they are the same experiences, that freaks me out. So it gives you that sort of conundrum to work with in your life, in their lives as well.
Don't you technically start being an entirely separate person the second that you start experiencing different things?
Technically,
Yeah.
that's one of the big paradoxes.
I mean, that's
of the
kind of what it plays
universe.
off of.
Experiences define character, character creates events, events create experience, define character. It's an infinite loop.
Yeah, but what if you chose the other option? Like, you know, you went with A, but what if you chose B? I don't know. Would you be the same person? Would your significant other be the same person? I don't know. It was kind of fun. I don't know that I necessarily caught every time that this happened at first, but yeah, I definitely want to go back and kind of see it. But it's a different take. It's not exactly time travel, but it's not exactly like, I don't know. It's just interesting. With the comet thing, it's like, okay, this is going to be cheesy, but
yeah,
I don't know. It worked for me in a certain way for like this ultra low budget, no budget, almost in one room. I dug it. I gotta tell you, it hooked me way more than I thought.
Did this.
The Rick and Morty did that probably, and they just took it to the absurdity. They leaned in.
They made two of the wife, and one of them stayed to be the mother, and the other went off and became super cool.
Super space mom. Yeah. I feel like I can enjoy that film. I think it's just such a fascinating film, and it just stuck with me. I don't know why it stuck with me so deeply. I don't feel it's as well done as, say, Fresh, because when I speak about Fresh, when I hear Gray point out things about Fresh, I'm like, yeah, that's a very well done movie. This one is just a very fascinating movie, and that's why it stuck with me more than the
fact that they were able to do kind of a paradox one, but kind of make it improv at the same time. Like there are a couple of beats, I guess, kind of like a Curb in a way. Like I guess they write their scripts by like, we need a couple of beats. I guess they knew a couple of beats that had to be hit on this thing, but the rest of it is just, you're going to find the movie by letting the cameras roll. I don't know. That seems so risky. I don't know if I would put my own money behind that or try and get other people to put money into that. That's just...
what it made me do. So yeah, that's why I'm saying that those beats, basically, for them to tell the story, they've got to have certain things that look the same and certain things that are just a little bit off. But they land up in the same outcome. It's like, oh, but they have this detail, this color over here, and then over here they don't. It's these tiny little changes between shots that you're like, hey, was I just seeing that? Where's that from? Like, I was absorbed in looking for those bits of it. So much so that in the next movie, because we don't just watch one movie in this house, in the next movie, I was feeling, had that heuristic running still in my head of look for things that are different. We're in a different world now.
You were so engaged. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's fun how that can happen though. Like watching one movie can affect how you see like the next or any form of entertainment. I don't know. That is kind of fun. Hopefully it didn't keep you out of the next thing because you're looking for like those little details.
Eventually I got over it. It was just like it's a certain. I stopped thinking with that in between. Eventually that I got into. I think the next one we did watch might have been. No, I think it was the last one. I don't know what we watched afterwards. But the point is, I remember there's a lot of movies where I will get stuck in a certain mechanism of thinking that the movie has made me do. And then it sticks with me for a while. And that makes me go, oh, shit, I enjoyed that. It's the same thing with books. I get stuck in books and I actually start just only thinking about the book. So, and that's a sign to me that I was engaged with it, like I just said. So that's why I was like, Am I just being a normie for liking this movie? That's what I also wanted to talk to you guys about in terms of the way it was filmed.
So. So they tried to get into Sundance with it, and it did not make it into there, but they were able to get into Fantastic Fest, which is pretty big for like indie movies. And I guess it was kind of the darling of that one. Hey, what's up, BMO? Glad to see you, sir.
BMO? Yeah.
Hope your break is going well.
Am I annoyed because I like
So it's not necessarily a normie thing. Like a lot of people have given it an award. I can't remember which crowd award it got at Fantastic Fest, but yeah, it does seem like this is liked by a lot of people. But it is low budget, so they don't have the best cameras, and I guess they only had 2 cameras, and the actual director and then one other guy had cameras, and we're kind of filming this. So it's not like they have like a whole bunch of lenses or options to choose from. So there's not like a lot cinematically that changes in this, but still there is some kind of low light things. The lights go out and you can still see what's going on. They go outside, you can still see what's going on. It's kind of it's interesting, but yeah, it's not as visually pleasing as either Cloverfield Lane or Fresh.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's just, maybe it's the premise of it. No, the characters as well. I was going to say it's just the premise, but it's actually like, no, the way they played the characters, very good as well. Just the way their stories are, what it means for them to be in this paradoxical roulette wheel thing. I love it. It's really great. Do you think, okay, so the way it ended, obviously, what do you think of the ending? The ending basically gives us a paradox, actually, where there's basically 2 of the same person. That's as far as you can.
They do kind of foreshadow it with one of the stories that they're telling at one point in dialogue. I kind of anticipated that might be where they're going once like this paradox starts. But I thought they did it quite well. Oh, sorry. BMO is broken, and I did not understand why, but it's because he's at work, not thinking on a Thursday. You can still think. You know, you're here with us now, sir. You're
have you
still
seen
thinking
any
on
of
a
these
Thursday.
movies? Yeah. Have you seen any of these movies? Tell us.
Did you like 10 Cloverfield Lane, sir? That's probably the only one I'm
currently
guessing
seen
that
it.
you saw.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. It's interesting. I don't know exactly why she made the choice. Why a character would make the choices that they made, but I don't know.
That was weird.
I mean, I guess they all get suspicious, and then I like the red herring that it throws out there too. Like there is the possibility that, you know, this is all in their heads. There's a group delusion because of something that's out there. So I don't know. I wasn't sure if that's where they're going because they kind of set that up in the beginning too.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was just watching so casually as well. Is initially I was thinking of like it felt very much like the Purge kind of thing. Like there's this comet is going to make people go crazy, so you must watch out. You know, there's violence or there's aliens.
Comedic. Yeah. I just watched a comedic version of The Purge. I thought that's where they were going, but that could be me, that I was just primed for that. But
because I was
jackpot one or the
that
lottery?
is the one. Yeah, with the lovely Aquafina and John Cena. Good times.
Yeah, it was the most unrealistic thing about that movie is that you can be somewhere in LA and get somewhere else in less than 6 hours.
Well, I mean, it's the day of the lottery. Yeah.
I don't follow that.
Traffic in LA is bad.
Okay.
Very bad. It sucks. But
Famously
you can't
bad.
walk.
But CinemaSins did an alright video on.
I'm assuming 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Okay, so let's get on to 10 Cloverfield Lane.
No, CinemaSins. No.
Okay, so basically coherence. Look, I don't know. Maybe I'll. When I watch it again, I want to see if there's any notes or something that makes it like worth. I don't know if I can't diagram it because literally, and I know you can't, because I just want to know in autistic detail the difference between each freaking shot because it drove me mad because it does that the whole way through. And I was like, is this the reason I asked that normie question is because I was like, it's frustrating me and it's engaging me because I'm a casual viewer, but with someone who gets even more engaged in a film, could that be irritating? Could that be like, stop this? You're upsetting my sensibilities by making these cuts like this and doing this. Like, it feels like you have a better eye than I have. So I'm that's what I wanted to ask about. Like, is there something about it that that irritated you further, or did you think it was well done?
I got to be honest, the cutting of it and kind of the cinematography, that it did kind of annoy me a little bit at first. Just like it would have like a character say a line and then all of a sudden it cuts to like black for like 1 second and then it just keeps happening like over and over again. And they do stop that. And then it does go from handheld, really shaky cam to essentially like they do put it on sticks. It is more of it's more of a stable camera after that. Just the opening gets a little weird for me. But that completely went away where it was kind of taking me out of it. I just was totally immersed in it after that. It definitely took a moment to get into it. Yeah.
You get used to it. I do agree. Atom, if you can get over that, because I was like, what is it about it? You see that what I mean by you having a better vision or like clearer understanding of what you're feeling, because like you've now explained to me, like it was the cutting and this certain things, and there was something about the way it was happening that was irritating me, and I couldn't understand. So that's different to the frustration of not knowing what the plot was and things like that. That's different. I enjoyed that frustration, but the frustration of why am I irritated with the way this looks? I don't know those things. I have to think a bit harder to find them out. And the way you're saying, the way it just cut all the time, I was like, what are you doing? And as a person who doesn't have that in-depth knowledge and lots of films and whatever, I'm also going, is there, am I missing the quality of this? But actually what you're saying is, no, that could just, maybe they were trying to be all arty with it, but actually it was kind of something that is different. And you have to absorb it and kind of get over it in order to enjoy the film.
I kind of think so. Like they do stop doing that after kind of the intro.
Okay, so they do. Okay.
They don't do like the quick cuts with like all the black after it. But it still is somewhat jarring. Like it still does look somewhat cheap because, you know, they don't have a ton of lenses to switch from. It looks like it's pretty much the same lens the entire time. Well, I guess they do have 2 cameras. They do have a wide that might be a different lens, but it's really claustrophobic in a way. Like they do a lot of tight shots on faces. And from hearing the director speak a little bit, he was saying that the first night they did a lot of wide shots and they realized it looked like a sitcom. So they really wanted to change that. So they were doing like really tight shots on faces and it just made it look more cinematic to them. But I gotta think there's something with the color grading too. It's really yellow at times. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I like mustard. I'm a fan of yellow. In fact, I have a certain yellow glow to myself today. But
really?
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed. I'm kind of glowing. But yeah, I don't know. It was a little off-putting, but I definitely got over it. It is something that kind of happens with like low budget or no budget flicks. But yeah, it was the plot and the overall story on this really make up for any shortcomings that it may have visually. I think that's just I think it's just the money. Like I guess they shot it for about $8,000 because they said that the wig that they had to get the actress, which cost about $8,000, doubled the shooting cost of it. So yeah.
Yeah, just thinking about it, like I'm actually like, also don't change your hair, actress. Come on. Commitment.
Well, I guess it was like 6 months later. You know, some of us, we can't keep our hair the same for months upon end.
True. We know that's gray. Is your hair yellow now, Gray? Completely yellow.
I've got a stripe in it. Show
us.
Yeah, I've got this thing. Or this, yeah, that's.
Oh, look at you glowing.
I got a bit of a glow.
There I see the stripe.
Gray.
I used to have. I had one like that. Yellow fellow.
I went with a 2-tone. A bit of a yellow fella.
Well,
I prefer that spelling.
So where would you put Coherence ranking with the other 2? So you said Fresh was first and then Cloverfield? Is
For me, I think I'd go
Coherence.
Coherence. I think I'd go Fresh was my favorite, Coherence second, and then Cloverfield. I put it under there. There's some performances, like I love John Goodman in it, but it's not my favorite flick. I think it's the tie-in. I kind of wish it was its own thing.
Okay, because I watched it as its own thing because I haven't watched the others. So I want to talk about what my problems with it, which so they don't have anything to do with that, obviously, because I didn't know there was even other things about it. The thing that frustrated me the most about this movie, and maybe Hydra will be happy about that, is the freaking girl. I did not like the decisions she made as a character, but that doesn't mean that I don't like the film. It just I don't like the character. So, did you? What did you think of this character? The female character. I'm sorry, Sneeko versus Charlie. Sneeko versus Charlie has turned into Destiny versus 4 other people. Sneeko versus Charlie has to be a video in the future somewhere. I didn't like the girl. She made bad decisions. That's true. Sorry, Gray.
Oh, I totally forgot what I was saying. I don't
I was
know if I
asking
was
you
saying
whether
anything.
you like the girl in Cloverfield Lane.
Right. Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who played Michelle. I don't know. At times,
her choice.
Yeah, the character Michelle. At times, I did definitely understand where she's coming from, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Like they try to make it that she's always running away from everything. So in the start, she's talking to her like significant other who's like, "Come on, no, like come back. You can give it a try." But yeah, just I don't know. I guess I didn't like that character choice. And then they try and make it at the end, after she's been through all this, she could go to where they're telling all the survivors to go, but instead she goes to fight because she is now changed. I don't know. I didn't like that. It felt a little cliche to me.
Yeah.
But
the ending was the worst part. Because it was the most about her. I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
So what I didn't like, see now comparing the two movies, Fresh and Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield. There's a girl that's kidnapped in both of them, basically. And the one character, the way she deals with it is the way I like, and the other is a bit, I'm like, hurry up. It's taking you way too long to figure out that this is how you survive.
For sure.
That's what I'm not understanding from her. And I know that that's being harsh because it's like you're in this situation, you don't know what you're doing, you're finding out things. But the whole time I was just like, this girl could we please hurry this up? The thing to do is to make the man like you and make sure that
that's another thing that got on my nerves a little bit, is that she obviously didn't take the massive hint to not question him in front of him and not consider about. So how do I leave? How do I leave? How do I leave? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? What about you not liking him? That's another part that's like absolutely. My brain was like, this person, I'm hovering on the edge whether or not they should survive this movie right now.
Yes, that's what exactly. I was like, you are done. I hate you for this. Just wake up. This is like immediately with the girl, with Daisy in the Fresh movie, she's like, okay, how am I going to get out of this? And she figures it out. She's like, okay, I'm going to try and endear myself to him, and it means he look, she does have that little message. It means he likes you if you're reading this. So try something, whatever. You don't know. But she seems to have a plan about her. And then there's me who's high judging this other one for not for not having a plan or just not figuring out. what to do.
It kind of seems like you'd play into it and kind of like butter up your captor or something, but I don't know. She doesn't seem like she wants to at any point.
She's not a woman.
He comes back in at the very when they meet, he leaves to beat up the other guy, comes back in with fucking blood on him, and he's like, I'm gonna say the same things to you as I said to him. You need to show more appreciation to. In my mind, I would immediately like, no change from now on. This is the approach we take to this person, like instantly, and it takes forever. It's not even for and then just everything else in the worst execution, like not even being like soft or she can't just scheme, she can't scheme or whatever you say that, how you say that word. She can't do soft questioning. She has to be like, how do we live?
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, that's exactly what
I
really...
lose sympathy for the character immediately.
You're so right, and then by the end, I was just like, oh, I'm so over it.
You're gonna die. That was I was
I was like, after all that, you're gonna die. Okay, and then also because I didn't know about the Cloverfield universe, when it did turn out to be an alien and stuff, and I was just like, you know what? She's not dealing with it smart either. So I'm just like just the last bits really messed it up for me, because she was she was done. The other characters were gone. The other characters that were very fascinating, they were gone. And then I just had her.
Counterpoint. What are the odds that aliens are going to invade? Are you going to believe that?
Yeah,
you wake up in a bunker.
You could. There are a couple of routes you can take with the alien invasion of Earth cliche. Again, you can't just expect it to carry the whole movie because it's been done too many times. Or at least from my perspective, I won't tolerate that. But you can do whatever the fuck, because you shouldn't listen to me because I'm not a proper movie enjoyer. You can go, we're going to leave it ambiguous and a mystery. We don't understand these aliens. We don't understand the technology. It's a completely radical. They are different life form. They have a different body plan. They have a different mind plan, a different culture. We don't even know what the fuck is that they're doing. Like we don't understand route. Or you can do the very scientific, it actually makes sense route of why they would target this planet.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're the girl in this situation, and you wake up in a bunker and you are told that aliens invaded, are you just going to believe that?
No. That was not my issue. It was...
She was told it was either alien invasion or Russians. So, like, it's a little unclear. Like, it's not like, yes, this invasion happened at this time. It was this... Like, it was, kind of out there like, it was probably aliens, could have been Russians, who knows?
And the whole thing is, okay, so even if you don't know, first, you don't know whether my assumption would be, yes, this man is crazy, and why has he locked me up here? If he was saving me, why isn't he taking... I understand what you mean. But then it's actually not that long until she finds out that there is something out there. And she still doesn't deal with him. The way that she deals with him is just not good enough for me, because I'm like, even if he is just a crazy man, you're not working with him properly. You need to,
especially if he's crazy, you need to take a special approach. And she continues to take the same approach again and again and again. And if it doesn't work, she does it again. Now that is fucking crazy. I'm sorry.
I like it when
change tactics.
I like that when a person takes on that kind of, tries to outsmart their captor. That is cool.
That could be very enjoyable if it's well done.
But it's not. I'm not saying that now. Oh, it's victim blaming and whatever. It's actually more like you see that the Noah character in Fresh, she loses it. She's like, what the? She does have the emotions of being stuck there, and we do have the victims that have been there longer. So you have all of that emotion of somebody who really has been wronged, okay? And then you want them to get out. You just want them to fuck this guy, man. Fuck off, this piece of shit. How dare he think he can do that? And you want them to get out, and that's a cool feeling to have when you're watching this movie. But then when you watch her, you're like, oh, you're so fucking annoying. Just But I guess you can't be perfect. I don't know. She irritated me, and I think that's okay. Again, it's not a criticism of the movie, it's a
You'd
criticism
want the
of the
audience
character.
to support and root for the escapee. You are not doing a good job at that.
Yeah. But then again, what I'm saying is that doesn't make the movie bad, because it's the character. Like if you listen to us doing Ascension Unleashed and Mistborn on the No Nasty podcast, we often are frustrated with characters, and we don't say that makes the book bad or the writing bad. We're frustrated with the character, and I was frustrated with her for being so dumb a lot of the time. And yeah, that did kind of push me out of it, but I still wanted to see when she went, how she dealt with it. And then just by the end, I was over it. I'm like, I don't know. As soon as she had gotten out of the bunker, that was when I was out. I was like, okay, fine, aliens, cool, whatever. I'm not interested in her anymore. I really was not interested in her, because all I wanted to do was understand what was out there, whether she was right or wrong. And then I didn't care about how she's going to go about living in the rest of the world. So it's interesting that I landed up feeling that way. Did any of you feel that way? I think Hydra and I are on the same page with that.
I lost all sympathy for her very quickly, and was only interested in which direction the movie is going to go eventually.
So, Dorcas, you don't remember?
I haven't watched it since it came out. I remember really liking the movie. That's like the bulk.
Do you remember having sympathy for the lady?
I remember that I really like John Goodman as an actor and enjoying his performance.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was the most enjoyable part of the movie, is their interactions, and him trying to figure him out was really engaging for me, because I'm like, what? Like,
What are you?
The way they're playing that's a lovely scene where they're playing charades, or not charades, what is it? It's like 30 seconds kind of thing, and he says, what is whatever her name is, what is Chinsia, what is she? And he goes, girl, baby, or like a child. Like he goes through all little woman things, but he never calls her a woman, and then he never gets the answer, which is little woman. And that gives a great insight into his character, how he thinks of women. And I loved that. That was fucking amazing. I loved that movie. That part of the movie. And also just like they're eating the spaghetti, and then looking at all the provisions and things, and figuring out like, wow, what would I do in that situation? Like that was really great. I think it's just the girl that's knocked me out of it, I suppose.
Yeah.
What did you feel for the girl?
It was hard to have sympathy for her. I disagreed with so much of what she was doing, and it's like, come on, you at least have to kind of trust a little bit that there is something going on. Like, the world isn't just perfect. She saw the one lady out there, but she still doesn't like believe it. I don't know. It seemed weird to me. I mean, obviously something seems off on him, but I think I would try and play him for a little bit of freedom. It seemed like now I can't remember the other character's name, but he had significantly more freedom than she did. It seems like Emmett. Sorry, it looks like Emmett had significantly more freedom than Michelle was given in this film. So I don't know. I just think I would have liked to use some of that. She's obviously clever. I think she would have used some of her ruse, her. I think there's a way that she could have. Yeah, I think so.
Longer than expected.
I don't know. I guess I just wanted her to do a little bit more than she did. But I thought a lot of those scenes that you're talking about, like the one where you hear Emmett get injured off screen, there's something going on with him, and then just the way that he's interacting and like the dinners and the game, I thought some of it set up this amazing character that I truly believed Goodman in this one, where I love that guy. I could watch him in anything, but this was a different take on him for me. I really loved his performance in it.
Yeah.
So it's also important to note he could be a monster, as the movie I think generally wants you to think throughout the bulk of it, but also have saved her and been trying to.
That's
aliens.
Yeah.
They were
Mhm.
actually
Who's the
there,
true
so-
monster?
Yeah, who is that? That's why. I mean, if you look at the poster, it's like monsters come in many forms. So it's like because that is the part of the journey through the movie.
That's what they
is
were
who is
going
the monster?
for. Yeah.
What is the thing that we're running from? Is it him? Is it Emmett? Is it the Russians? Is it aliens? Is it this lady out there? Who is the enemy? That's great. I love that. Because it's like, is this about how horrible men are? Is this about war? All of that, it's all into one, because you don't, that's not what happens if there's
Well,
like
the
a
Russian military doesn't have the capability to invade the US, not even in their wildest dream, while the opposite is definitely true, but I'm just going to let that fly.
But no, well, that's the thing. It's just like this prepper guy. He's been prepping. He has Gray had more knowledge about him because I think he's in another movie, right? Something.
Not
or you
that
just-
character or anything like
okay.
that. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, so I did watch like a quick explainer, like one of those. I forget what they call them, but it's like a 10-minute recap, thing.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait, what is the connection to this? So I watched another one. There's apparently two connections. It's the place that he used to work is the same one that had the satellite in the first one, which isn't that big of a deal. Like you're really
But
given
it's a
no
link.
context for anything in the
Yeah.
first. It's, a found footage end of the world type of event one. And then, it spawned two other movies that are loosely associated.
Loosely, yeah. Okay.
And by name only.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I don't get it. I had to take a shower. Have you seen 10 Cloverfield Lane? It sounds like a thriller of, the murderous kind, true crime kind, or maybe a haunting or something like that. It doesn't feel alien because I didn't even have a trailer or anything to gauge it. But so anyway,
So did you watch it recently then?
Yes.
So did you
Just a couple of weeks ago.
Did you believe that there were aliens like he was saying, or did you assume that Goodman was just lying from the beginning until you see the lady who's kind of banging on the
Yeah, initially initially when she first wakes up, I'm like, fucking liar, crazy. And then Emmett, the fact that Emmett says that there's something, I never thought Emmett is lying. So that made me believe. And then I was like, but I still want to figure out, I want to know more. And she's not, and that frustrated me. Part of it was like her curiosity was going in the wrong way. She's trying to get out, which is like, hold on, figure out why this guy over here says that the world is ending. Like, figure out if this guy's also a bit of a cookie, and figure out if, just figure shit out. And then the lady comes along, and then I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty crazy. But then she does see that help is scratched on the inside of the bunker, so it could mean it. So it's like that's exactly what Dorcas was saying, that he is a monster and has saved her because he's kept someone there probably, and they've scratched help in there. But that doesn't mean that you need to get out now because you saw this lady come there. So I didn't think aliens, and it wasn't, I don't know, maybe aliens being the answer wasn't what upset me. Again, I think it really is just that character just landing up on her own, and I'm not interested in her, and I'm done now. Hurry up. Like, I think it took too many challenges. The main challenge was him. The main boss was him for me. And then there's aliens. I'm like, oh, I'm done with that. I don't care. I'm like, oh, that's the answer. I don't care. So how did you guys experience? Tell me about how you experienced the ending of this movie, because I clearly didn't like it.
I didn't dislike it. I thought it was fine. I liked that it recontextualized John Goodman, and yeah, it adds another layer to everything that preceded it.
Did it redeem him, or did it just explain? Yeah.
No, it adds more depth to it. I don't know that it explains anything. Like I said, I think he's still a monster. It just makes him even more nuanced.
Gray.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted again. I was just looking into that. Is A Quiet Place part of the Cloverfield world? And apparently it was, like, when they originally first started it, and then they realized how good it was and kind of separated them. But sorry about that. The way that I experienced 10 Cloverfield Lane, so I knew that it was part of this Cloverfield franchise now, I guess.
Yeah.
And I had mixed reception to that first one. Parts of it I really like. It was kind of my introduction, and I guess the worlds, to TJ Miller, who's you'd probably know him from the Deadpool movies. He plays the bartender or whatever. From Yogi Bear 3D. I don't know. I really didn't like that movie. I kind of hate ones that are like handheld jostled, like you're behind the camera. I get it. It's a way to make it low budget, and then you don't have to worry about making it look cinematic or anything. But I had a hard time with that one. So I kind of thought I wasn't going to like it going in. It's like, okay, it's going to be another one of these. But I hadn't seen like a trailer or anything. So I had no idea what it was other than, okay, there's going to be aliens in this one. The movie that I got was not what I was expecting. I really liked the kind of thriller. You know that there's a mystery in here. Like, is he lying to her? I kind of knew that aliens existed in this world, so I assumed he wasn't lying about that. But I don't know, the way that they present it to you, it still kind of makes you question it. But once you kind of see the who's trying to get in, it basically, if you knew the first one, it kind of gave away that yes, there is a real threat out there, but there's also a threat in here. I guess
That's
it
cool.
really is Mary Elizabeth Winstead that kind of, I don't like that character. I don't know why, but yeah, she just kind of rubs me a little bit wrong as that Michelle character. I would have thought that she would try to like talk to them, try to find out what's going on, look for some information, but instead she just seems like against actually cooperating at any time.
It's not unbelievable that a person like that exists. That's how they would attack.
Yes, but
this
the audience,
situation.
significant portions of the audience won't like it. That's about.
They'll be frustrated with it.
Yeah.
More than interested in it and rooting for her, kind of thing, or even feeling sorry for her. If we think about Room now, Romeo brought up Room.
Excellent movie.
Really, and
It's
I
very
read the
hard
book.
to watch.
Yeah, it is. Having read the book and watching it is even better. So usually it's like one is better than the other. The book highlights the movie for me because the book had the commentary of the child in it. So, and yes, that's how you have they did do the film that way as well. But it just was, it was really good. And I don't have this kind of, how is she here for so long? So it's not like I have this standard that a kidnapped woman must get out by a certain time. Then I will enjoy the movie. And that's not it. It's the character, how the character is.
Efficiency, escape room race. Otherwise, Kitty won't like it.
No, exactly. Meantime,
Meantime,
there is a prime example of a woman who has had to just deal with her captor, and then eventually she does get out. And it's a great seeing it through the child's eyes, but then also seeing what happens to her. I like that Room went further than the book, because the book kind of just ends a little bit. They go more onto him learning to be in the normal world outside of Room. I enjoyed that.
I didn't realize that the book didn't go as far as the movie. I just assumed like the movie is always like a tamed back, pared down version of the book. But
yeah,
interesting.
No, I remember it was basically just ended. I think it ended at the hospital. That's when the book ended.
It's interesting to hear because I really liked William H. Macy in the movie.
Is that the?
And I think that happens after the hospital. He's
the dad, the
dad.
Yeah, the stepdad. It's not her. Oh no, it is her dad. It's who? What's the parent situation? Her parents have split up since she was gone.
I don't recall.
Anyway, well, anyway, it was I enjoyed that. So there's an example. It's not me going, oh, she didn't get out, she didn't victim blaming and shit like that. It's like, no, it was just I liked the character. I liked the character in the book and in the movie. I liked the way that they showed the child and just everything. The tension of the way he gets out as well is it's crazy. I mean, even that was one that I chose. I made Gordon watch it, and he enjoyed it. So there.
Slight tangent back to Incoherence. I have not seen Donnie Darko, but I was thinking about watching it.
Ooh,
you haven't seen Darko?
I haven't seen it in a very long time.
I don't know why. That was like just right in my wheelhouse for that time. I kind of became obsessed with Richard Kelly. He basically made like 3 films. He made that, The Box, and now I'm forgetting the name of the California one. But yeah, really weird career on that guy. Very hit or miss. If you haven't seen that, man, I would be interested to hear what you think of that.
Yeah,
Nico says this.
I agree.
If you're feeling?
If I'm feeling sociable, I'd be happy to watch it with you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Sorry, I've just invited myself too.
You should.
I'll let everyone know.
I think that introduced the world to what's his name, Seth Rogen. I think that was his first
Did it really?
thing. Yeah.
Oh.
I was excited for who were the 2 actors? Mysterio,
Gyllenhaal and
Jake Gyllenhaal, and
I'm forgetting her name. Jenna Fisher. No, Jenna. What the hell is her name? Jenna something. Yeah. Oh,
Sparkles,
Dirty Dancing.
Of course you're
you
invited.
mean Swayze? Yeah, it is
Patrick
one of
Swayze,
Swayze's last ones. Sorry, I was trying to remember the female lead. It's Jenna Malone. You've seen her in a bunch of things. Like if you saw the Rebel Moon, she plays the Spider Lady.
Yes,
Yeah,
Rebel Moon. Haven't seen it.
Oh, guys, have you guys seen the extended one? I haven't gone.
They made an extended one.
They made it a 6-hour
Yes, it's rated R. People's heads explode.
Other than those people who already fan
Guys.
Don't
you want to know the true Snyder vision for Rebel Moon?
Was
It's
it
a completely
because
different movie.
people wish to see it, other than your fanatical, insane
Hate watcher.
protest base that always go after you, or the hate watchers? Do the
He had to
actual-
censor the wheat porn. This time it doesn't. This is the rated R version.
I love how was it Moist Critical who made your video about just collecting all of the this is when there all of the segments when there is slow motion, what is it about and how long is it, and like a significant portion is just wheat and grain falling at the different angles and speeds.
There is so much
Look
wheat,
how
man.
beautiful
Like
it
it is. If Tarantino has a foot fetish, Snyder has a wheat fetish. Like it is just crazy how much slow-mo wheat is in it.
Okay, you cannot dislike it.
Guys, so Sparkles
Ooh,
is saying,
Coraline.
Coraline, it re-released and it's made some money.
I wish we had our box office fella, Charles here. He would tell you that I believe Coraline came in it was either number 5 or number 6 last weekend. But yeah, it is in the top 10 films out there. So that's kind of crazy. Interesting film. It definitely haunts my soul seeing those eyes.
It freaks me out. I don't like it. It's hard for me to watch. It haunts you. Do you like it? Do you like that it haunts you, Ray?
I liked it a lot. It's really stylized, but I like any sort of stop motion animation thing. Just the amount of time that any of that thing takes makes me just absolutely love it, no matter what it is. But that one's creepy. Like it really kind of, I still remember certain scenes from that, and it's just the creep factor of the eyes, the dead eyes. I love it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that one on the big screen. I never did.
The book is scarier?
Yeah,
Wow.
Neil Gaiman goes pretty hard in some of his.
Okay.
But I have not read that one.
No.
Good to know. Adam.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm. It disturbs me to watch that movie. I don't like.
It is very
and
disturbing.
it's a kids movie. Is it a kid? It's a kids movie.
Well, I was shown it when I was a kid, so sure, it's a kids movie. Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. There's certain things that I've watched over, and like I've been able to identify that would have terrified me as a child. There's certain over the weekend some of these movies that we watched recently, not these three, but there's little bits that scared me so deeply as a child, and now it's like, okay, well, that's it. Charles actually seems to be interested in having a discussion about desensitizing to horror.
Yeah, his previous one was really interesting. I'm excited to hear where they're going with this one. But just to kind of second what you were saying, it looks like Sparkles was saying when her boys were little, she brought him to Coraline 3D and really made him cry. So good times. It is traumatizing. It'll stick with
babies. Yeah. Poor babies. Well, yes, guys, if you liked the film-centric, movie-centric, listen, I would love to call it movies, but not everybody here is a cat pun person, so I was being inclusive. So think on some movies. But if you want to suggest movies in the Discord for us to discuss at some other point, join the Discord and go into the movies part and suggest your movie. It won't be like we won't do this every week, but I don't know, maybe every 6 weeks, and maybe we make sure that everybody watched all the movies beforehand.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching the movie.
And let known in advance so I can actually.
Technically, there was enough hours, man. I was able to get 2 movies in this morning.
I'm really glad that. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, you were not plagued by the issues that I was this morning.
True.
And also for those of you who want to figure out what's happening, Sparkles has a husband in the spicy topic part of the server, so I don't know if I want to go there. Movie night, yeah. But
Meow night.
Meowvy night. If anybody else wants to now get into Gartic Phone, is anybody game for that?
Nope.
Would you like
I'm
to go to
afraid I
bed?
stretched my time to the limit, and I have to go like in 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I loosed up all of my time. I can't stay for any longer. I have stuff to do.
But what about? It's a garlic duck on a phone. Come
Garlic
on.
duck.
Yeah,
Look how
it's
happy it is with its
garlic
double beak
duck.
at
No,
you.
thank you. No,
Garlic duck.
Well, fair enough, Hydra. That makes sense. Thanks for giving us so much of your time. It's always better when we have a Hydra here.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
As long as I
thanks,
am physically and mentally capable of joining you, I'm always glad if I can be here and add to the conversation.
We are happy to have you.
See you guys next time.
See
And
ya.
if you want to catch me in the Discord doing gaming or cave development streams, then make sure to check on the scheduled events. See you guys. See you.
Deal. See you, sir.
Oh yeah. I'm gearing up, boys.
I'm here for it.
Yay! Daisy's also here.
Hydra.
Bydra. Oh my god, how have we not had
Nico is
Have we
awesome.
not had that before? Jeez.
Bydra?
Bydra. That's a really great joke. Some jokes I'm just like, that is such a great joke. Why hasn't it been made before? That's kind of funny. Bye, Romeo. Also, Romeo.
Yeah, see you, Romeo.
Bye, Romeo.
Fair enough. The Gartic chases off people, but fair enough. We get the core group.
Yeah.
But Romeo can art.
Yeah. That's the thing. We will have to
Speaking of arting, yeah.
yeah. I'm just getting us the link, guys. Daisy. I'm loading advertisements. Very nice. Don't make me deaf. Okay.
Definitely don't want to do that.
Okay. Yeah. It's so cute. Gray makes me smile. Well, he's got a gun. And
It's
yeah,
a pulse
look.
rifle. I mean,
Okay.
I guess you can consider it a gun. It's a tool.
He looks so cute. Okay. We're going to do a normal because there's not going to be that many of us. Definitely Kitty.
Everyone's
Daisy,
watching Sitchin' Adam.
Probably.
Assholes.
Yeah. You know, they're talking to Connor points or something.
Oh, fuck. Let's get out of here.
A dumpling. A
I'll
dumpling
do
has
it.
joined us.
Dumpling is darling, yes? Our darling dumpling. Right.
Okay, but Kitteh, did you get that book we talked about?
I can get it tomorrow, which
Cool,
is Friday.
Cool. Exciting.
Oh, actually, that means I have to go. I can drive, by the way. I have.
Yeah.
Oh yes, PSA for everybody in Dubai. Get off the roads because I'm coming.
Nice.
Does Dubai
Well,
drive
congrats
on the
on
left or the right?
your mobility. Yeah, good question.
The right.
The correct side or the other side? Okay.
The correct side, yeah. But also the way that they design the roads, it's you hardly ever see oncoming traffic because there's always like a huge island in between you. It's like this is the way the road goes. Stay here.
Interesting.
It's kind of cool.
It's annoying because you have to do U-turns all over the place. PSA has been brought to you by TDK. That don't crash her. Guys, yes. But you see, what I do is
Just click a link somewhere.
Yeah, here's the link again. What I do is I crash into pillars. I don't crash.
You say pillars or colors?
Yeah. Pillars.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I mean, they exist. I thought you were just going to say colors. I was like a bowl? Like you see red, you hit it?
Oh, I have to go for it. Pillars or pillows. You know what? I wish I could crash into pillows. I think pillows is funny. Yeah, it's very funny.
Got to be honest, I've hit a couple pillars. The ones that are like about bumper height that you're not necessarily noticing. Those are the worst. Backed into a couple in a parking lot. Oh,
But,
Vincent's here. Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
Vin.
Hop in.
Yeah, hop in. Need
Come
to
on, show
survive.
off your art skills, sir.
I can't get over how cute Gray is. Gray supremacy. There you go.
Well, thank you.
Crash into me, pillars singing softly to Kitty as she drives by. Guys, you do know what's coming next, right?
We're feeding the ducks. I felt like something was missing. I didn't know exactly what it was, but yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't clicked the link to join Gartic Phone, it is in the chat.
We are going to give you until the saxophone comes in to join. I don't think it's in XChat. XChat doesn't. What's coming? Oh, Sparkles made it! Yes!
Hey!
Hey, Sparkles is the bomb. Character.
Yes, that's Dorcas. Okay, let's go. We're in? Or are we waiting? Vin, am I waiting for you?
We don't know. Apparently he needs to
Then-
survive, so I don't know
Yeah,
if that's an Garlic phone thing. I don't know.
He's probably double streaming it if he's watching Sitchin' Adam.
Yeah, probably.
Ducks, garlic.
I don't know if he's ever joined us.
Garlic
Perhaps we don't
duck!
wait
That's
for
my new song. Okay, I'm going to count 2, 3, and if you have not replied yes or no, we're gonna start without you. Vin. 1,
Pressure's on, Vin.
2, 3. Okay. Start. And it even counted down for you. In my head canon, the ducks accept garlic as payment for phones. But what happens when the ducks are the garlic, huh? They eat it. They are what they eat?
They accept themselves as payment in some way. Uh-oh. Okay.
Right. Okay.
This is going to be tough.
Beautiful, beautiful. I've forgotten what it's like to have people watch me instead of.
Yeah, it's kind of nicer when BMO's there. You know, he can take the hit for all of us by being the eye candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally a duck. Oh, giving clues. Ah! Again, sorry, that was me getting upset by my drawing pad falling. It happens once a week. Oh shit! Yay!
Oh, I think
Gray didn't give us the time.
Sorry, I failed my job, and I failed whoever got that drawing. I'm sorry.
What the hell? Okay. You. I think. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting. This is probably a reference to the part of the stream I did not watch. Well, darling, what does that tell you? You watched the whole thing.
Always be here.
I suck. No, you don't. Sparkles. Can you see what I'm drawing? Are you blind? I suck. I'm gonna do. No, if that's true, look what I'm doing. Okay. Really. Daisy? Are you laughing at my cringe? I think this will make sense.
Mine won't. I'm sorry again, everybody. Good luck with this.
I'm going to be very upset with you, Sparkles, if you've actually left the game.
Please don't leave the game.
Because then it's like you're literally saying, I don't want to play with you. I'm not your friend anymore.
Yeah, you have almost no time left. Good.
Thanks. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Let's go. Hello, Beetle.
Hell is this?
Oh my gosh, I love this. This is the best.
Oh wow. This is amazing. Okay, I don't know how to draw this, but let's go. Yay.
Let the ducks guide you home.
And that's about a quarter of your time. So
God
draw
damn
like
it.
the wind.
Oh, Charles.
Is Charles here?
Charles?
Yes, he is.
He came just in time to judge us. Hey, Charles.
Hi.
While we're drawing and making fools of ourselves, do you have any thoughts on 10 Cloverfield Lane or I can't remember the other movies?
Coherence, fresh.
That's the ones.
I just
No
saw.
thoughts?
Am I muted?
No?
Hey, you can hear me?
Yeah.
I
We can
just
hear you.
saw Coherence, and that was an experience.
What did you think of it, man?
It's fascinating. There are times where it's a really good representation of what it's like to be in my brain when it comes to shitty short-term memory. But I'm curious to know how much that movie was made for, because it's quite.
So the shooting budget was $8,000, and then they had to go back for some reshoots. One of the actresses needed to wear a wig, so they had to find one that matched. It cost another $8,000. That was their shooting budget.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, according to the director.
Well, that's wow. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, it's more of a performer's movie than it is a storyteller's movie, because it seems like
they also didn't have a script. They just had a couple of beats, and everything else was improv.
I kind of figured that. If you were going to ask me anything, I would have said that there wasn't a script. It had serious I don't know, improv type feel to it.
What did you think about the very intro to it? They're doing a lot of really quick cuts after like people say a line and then it goes to like a couple frames of black.
Yeah,
did that take you out at all? It was really jarring.
Guys, before
That's
we
the
get
mustard
into that,
DSR.
before we get into that, let's just finish this Gartic phone round. I really want to see what's happening. Okay, lots of gray in this one, many gray areas, and Sparkles.
Oh, no.
I'm very mad at you for leaving. Okay.
Oh, she did leave.
Hydra tries to explain why the fresh killer is lame.
Oh, I should have known.
Frosty weightlifting curls in a room.
I love that, Frosty.
Wendy's
It is
drink
great.
working out at the gym.
Wendy's drink just works.
Whoa, that is awesome.
That's
You see the amazing art that was created because of you, Sparkles. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's downloaded. Sorry, you have to wait while I download this. Gartic
You will
law.
like this guy?
Well, I tried not to include myself in this one, so perhaps mine is the only non-gray one.
I got you covered.
A duck hurls a bomb at a rival.
A rival? Whoa.
Okay.
Two ducks playing hot potato with a bomb.
I like it.
Oh, that's cute.
Hey, they're mallards.
Empty.
Wow.
That's how you left us. Done.
Perfect.
Guys, look at that.
Die.
Just the way it I just hear die. It's so good.
Hopefully that's how the duck experienced it too.
Die. That's great, awesome.
Prepper Gray hides in a bomb shelter.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this. I wasn't paying attention to the time. I should have.
Welcome to my bunker. The bunk
Gray
stirred.
becomes a prepper.
With a beard.
I like as a jar has little jars.
Yes.
Awesome. Must chop.
Gray must chop the carrot on the table with a knife.
It's pretty straightforward there.
True.
Well, actually, that helped because my prompt was not right. That kind of prepper, food prepper. He's a food prepper.
Oh.
Must
Yeah,
chop.
I worked in a prep
Been
kitchen.
watching the bear too much. Okay.
Kitteh crashing into pillar of pillows.
Oh.
Pilobelisk.
Kitteh crashing into a pillar in Dubai.
Hey.
Because
I entered.
I was.
Kitteh
there we go.
driving
It's
into
like, I
pillow
entered
pillars in
words
her
into
car.
that.
The pillow belay.
Oh, it didn't let me type out Pilobelisk. I didn't notice that. Damn it.
Blah-blah-blah. I appreciate that. Sorry, Charles. My PSA to everyone in Dubai was that I've now got a license, so we're talking about me crashing into stuff.
Oh.
And
Hydra
I said
becomes
pillar.
Hydra.
Hydra becomes Hydra. Ooh.
Hydra removed head to Sakrav.
Oh.
I like it.
Hydra's middle head kills the right head. Left head scared.
Actually, depends on where your
I
perspective.
didn't see. Didn't see. Didn't see.
Yeah, it's not great. I was a little time crunched on that one.
He's scared, but I didn't see.
I was under pressure. How do
Gray soaks in
how do I make
vanilla ice cream watching Jerry Springer.
What?
Oh.
Okay, it makes sense.
Gray finds out he is the father of vanilla ice cream.
I know.
You
it's
are not
exactly.
the father, is Maury, not Jerry.
Gray impregnated an ice cream cone.
Crying. Yeah. You're like, oh shit. And yes, you are the father.
Oh, it's a pregnant a cone That's precious.
It
I
is.
couldn't remember any Jerry lines. I'm sure there were some "You Are the Father" lines in Jerry.
It's just people being trashy and throwing chairs.
Guys,
and
Final thoughts. Doesn't he always give his final thoughts though? Maybe that's the.
Well, if he always
best-
does it, it's not final now, is it?
I don't know if he does it
Final
anymore.
thoughts of the day. Okay,
Hmm.
that was great. I enjoyed that, and you know what? It's going in the Gartic law, so we know that Gray has
I like ice cream.
an illegitimate child.
We don't know that I didn't take care of them. We're just assuming because I was crying that I wouldn't have.
So I guess we can continue a little bit of the discussion for the next few minutes about the movies. So tell us about Coherence. Continue the discussion.
So wait, I'm curious, Dorcas, did you see Coherence?
No, I'm probably going to watch it now, but
I'm really curious as a actor how you feel about
Actor, sir?
Yes, because it certainly. I don't know. I'm curious to know if you have the same day player vibe that I did from watching it.
But
So none of them were day players. You know, the director went to film school with a couple of them, and then one of them happens to be like the art designer for. Now I'm forgetting which one, but he knew them. But come on, Xander from Buffy. Xander's around.
Which
Nicholas
one?
something.
He's the one that's the drunk.
Nicholas Brendan.
Oh, right.
He
The
played
guy-
Mike.
The guy who drinks to counter the person who drinks.
Well, he knew that the other version of him would drink, so he has to drink. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's a neat idea. It feels a lot like an improv group just working things out, and you could tell that, like you said, Gray, the camera work is frustrating. There are times where there's the other reason why I thought that they didn't have lines or a script was you would show one person and they'd be talking, and then you wouldn't have something, no coverage or anything for like a reaction take to that thing, or they'll chime something in and not really properly mic'd. It felt very
the audio was a little
thrown
low.
together. Yeah.
But now, does the concept, the premise behind the film make that? Can they lean on that and say we were being arty about it?
For the sake of what they were working with, yes.
Mhm.
I would say that's a performer's movie more than a storyteller's movie. Because
What does that mean?
well, the budget certainly plays into that. You know, a lot of exposition, a lot of actors doing actor things, where there's really nothing to look at if you think about it. It's people in a house with like the glow sticks is probably the biggest
the most,
deal.
yeah.
The rave scene.
Yeah.
So I guess they only had 2 cameras. So the director actually had his own camera, and then he had a second guy with a second camera. So I think they had like a wide, and then they were pretty much just doing close-ups.
Oh yeah, like they were even like zooming. They were like
Really?
zooming during shots, and it's just like, that.
Yeah.
That disarms me a bit. But I'm a snob.
Yeah, that's what I was asking Dorcas and Gray about is, as a snob, or how this movie plays, because there were some things that frustrated me, but I didn't know why. Whereas a snob would know even more about why it frustrates them. You would be like, "Stop doing this kind of cut. Stop doing this," like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
it is just just strange for like where you've got 8 people sitting around a dinner table, but you're not on tripod. You don't have steady cam. It's just like super shaky, like it's shakier than my character right now. It was weird.
Yeah, and that free flowing style of storytelling. That's a lot of speaking people to just have 2 cameras and. If it were me, especially with that budget, that budget concerns me. That budget makes me think that I really wish you didn't tell me, Greg, because 8 people with pretty much the same amount of speaking time in one location it feels like a stage play.
So they actually thought that after the first night of shooting, and that's when they started going to the really close shots. They went really wide the first night, and it felt really sitcom or stage play. So yeah, they noticed that too.
So that's why they had to go onto the people's faces and watch them close up.
Yeah.
That made sense.
So, Kitteh, when you have a close up like this
Mhm.
this close, you want to see their emotion and the dramas, like where you know you don't get close to somebody if they're saying, "Oh, look, I'm pregnant." Oh, actually, I guess you would. If there's drama or tension or some sort of conflict, you want to give the actor that tight shot to give you that emotion. But when you have 8 people who are essentially all speaking equally, there's there's no real focus for the camera because you have to be ready for someone else.
That's actually I'm trying to put my finger on what, because like I love the concept of the movie and it's the movie that stayed with me the most. Like I was explaining to everyone, is that after the movie I was watching everything as if I was looking for the same clues. It took me like a few minutes into the next movie where I had to say, stop thinking like that, stop looking for the clues that you're looking for in this film. It's gone, we're done, we have the answer. So you could stop. That was what engaged me. But now I'm just thinking that my main way, the reason that I definitely wanted you guys to look at it is, I was like, is there meaning behind this that I'm missing? Or is it just really that they are the way that they're filming this is bad? And so you kind of answered that question for me. Not bad, but like I'm saying, like, because I'm like, is there a purpose for them to have filmed it this way? And
no, I mean, yes, like budgetary
bad.
restriction, but it seems like they spent all their time with editing. Like they ended up with like 24 hours of footage, and then they had some reshoots to get that down to like an hour and a half. So it's mainly like the time was spent editing on this thing, where I think, you know, you get some of those really well planned out film and all the time is in pre-production. They're deciding which scene should be filmed with which angle, like what lens should be used. With this, they pretty much had one lens the whole time and one close up, and that's like it.
Yeah, plus there's tonally there's that reveal in like the third act that something's going on between two characters, and like it's played out like this huge thing, but contrasted by what they're dealing with, like on the whole, that isn't really that big a deal. You know what I'm talking about, right? The 12-year gap between something. That could have been like a precursor to all this. That could have been something that
for sure
towards the other drama. So if in the hands of a storyteller, you would shift it and have that drama be earlier. But another reason you could tell that it's more of an improv thing is a lot of exposition. Like when they have they had to get a book. Do you remember that? The story that surrounded that book felt very, wow. Okay, this is a lot to tell me. If you were showing us something, you wouldn't have to tell us that much. You could have just had a throwaway line like, "Oh, my uncle. Wait, hold on, my uncle's got this," and you bring it. But they really worked it in to let you know what that was. But again, I mean, that's like
they did a certain amount of foreshadowing.
That did feel a bit clunky. You're right. It felt clunky. It was like,
yeah, but that's it's a neat exercise for performers, but
storytelling wise, just
storytelling, you want to be able to trim the fat a little bit and be able
to be smooth, right? That it's not like it doesn't stand out. Like you don't have to accept it. It's part of the whole picture.
The movie's
you don't have to accept this thing,
right? The movie's a good concept, but you do have to trim the fat at some point, because what if this, and then just letting actors roll? It's really neat. It's actors that can show off their chops, but as far as telling a story is concerned, where's the resolution when you have 8 actors doing whatever they're doing? I don't think all 8 are thinking, okay, we're gonna do this to get to this destination.
So it could have been better if they actually did that. If they actually, because what I did, yeah, Dorcas.
There's a big difference between an improvised line or an improvised moment and a whole improvised scene.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting that out there.
So, yeah, are you saying that maybe some of the actors didn't have improvisation things in a scene? Like,
no,
go ahead.
Well, I haven't seen it, and I don't really know that much about how it was filmed. But when someone talks to me about improvisation in a movie, my mind goes to a couple of different things. One being the "I love you, I know" moment from Star Wars. But then I wish I could think of the example. But there are examples in which there are scenes that are mostly improv. Curb Your Enthusiasm, where they have the general beats, but most of it is improv. I don't know how
it sounds like that's kind of what they were. It seems like they were kind of doing that same thing. They had a couple of beats they needed to get to, but they just kind of let the actors play.
Yeah. Oh. That's what is filtering through my mind as I'm hearing you guys discuss it.
Yeah. It would, I don't know how you do this. It would be better for the story if you let some of the stronger performers carry some sort of drama, but you have better storytelling plants, for lack of another word, help guide the story so that you can get some sort of nice wrap up or resolution to it. And granted, this is a movie that you're not really going to get a resolution to anyway, because the interesting thing about it, but it's different. And knowing how little a budget they had, then I really can't complain about it. It's I mean, I can't. I don't even have 8 friends to film for $5,000 or whatever.
Well, if you had $5,000, maybe you could.
And everybody kept their hair together.
Budget was spent on hair.
On the freaking
sadly, the shooting budget was doubled. They went with J-Lo's wig. It was the only one that would match. So yeah, it also has J-Lo's hair in this.
Which one's hair was it?
I did not note that.
It wasn't the main character, right?
I don't believe it's the main one because I don't think J-Lo would have had like bleached blonde wig, but maybe.
Do you know?
I know it's one of the actresses.
Gray, you know the lead M. She's married to the romance guy from It Ends With Us.
So that's what I was going to ask, because she's got the same Baldoni last name. So I wasn't sure if Emily Baldoni was related to the Justin Baldoni, the director of It Ends With Us.
She's married to him.
I think it's really good, Artem. If you can't tell who has the 8K wig, is that really bad or really good? I think it's really good.
That's
supposedly, yeah, like there are shots where she's not wearing the wig, and then they had to go to the whatever reshoots in the exact same scene, and I didn't notice it once. So
you see,
it's a good wig. I can see why it cost $8,000.
But part of what you can use as an excuse for some of the things, the differences between those scenes or those shots, is that they're different people. They're different versions, right? So that's what I thought they were trying to do with the way that they filmed it. That when there was something that was inconsistent and and random and whatever and hard to keep track of, it felt like everything was hard to keep track of and incoherent, actually.
Yes.
That I thought that was an arty way, and I'm just not appreciating it because I'm too normie for it. So that's why I wanted to talk about this movie, because of that reason. Yeah.
It certainly feels like whatever notes they had going into filming this is what they want to present to the audience. Like, hey, what if this?
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of one of those movies where you wander in your head trying to figure what the hell you would do. And I don't think there's a right answer to it. But as far as telling us a story. This is a me problem more than anything else. You better know what you're saying, because if you're just, hey, wouldn't it be neat if this, and then just end.
Does it change your mind at all that it won the Next Wave Best Screenplay at Austin's Fantastic Fest in 2013?
Oh, Fantastic Fest! I might be going.
Yeah, here. You've got a connection to
that. It doesn't change my mind.
Okay, what if I were to say that it got the Maria Award for Best Screenplay at Sitges Film Festival in 2013?
The prestigious Sitges Film Festival. Then
okay. What if I were to tell you that it got the jury award for Best in Competition at the Sitges Film Festival as well?
I would like something that gets the judge award, not the jury award. Thank you very much.
Well, it won the Black Tulip for Best Feature Debut.
What was that? Wait, what? Dorcas?
My hot take is that I hate film and acting awards.
Ooh.
Okay.
For them.
Well, what if I told you that 2 months ago it was announced that there's going to be a sequel to this?
What?
To Coherence?
Is there really?
Yes, there is.
Stop.
No.
They're not going to stop. You can't make them. They're doing it again.
There are
props.
Get your resume out there, Dorcas.
I studied with Upright Citizens Brigade. I studied with
UCB,
Nerdist.
man.
Let's go. I got this.
Yeah. Another concept movie for cheap. Have you ever seen Primer?
Yes. I think I can't remember if it was
that.
Nico. I think it was Nico brought it up. That another one kind of like that is Primer. Yeah, I like it. It's another low budget kind of paradox thing, but that one is specifically time travel. I liked this wrinkle on it, that it's just fantasy. It's not sci-fi. It's not like, I have a time travel device. It's just randomness. But yes, do you hold Primer as on a different tier than this one, since they had a script?
No comment with your little extra tag on that question, sir.
Actually, one of the things that Gray explained that they have beats that they were trying to hit, and I mean there is a 7-minute video we could go and watch that explained by director Jim.
Well,
whatever.
I'm curious to see if Dorcas ends up watching it. I'm curious to see, because as a performer, I'm curious to see what
he thinks of it.
Right.
Yeah. We could regroup and discuss. But and I also just want to watch it again without that kind of and take more notice, because I know I was looking mostly for the clues of what's happening, but now I'll be able to look at it and see the budget and things like that you guys have pointed out. But because what I was busy with the whole time was figuring out what's going on. But actually, one of the things, so Gray said that they had beats that they tried to hit, that they had and I thought that actually would lend itself to the concept that they were going with Coherence, that there are certain key things that happen, but the improvisation makes for different versions of the same things happening. So, you guys have this conversation, right? And you land up saying this line, and that's as far as they have specified happens. And you're allowed to do all the kind of improv-y different things around that one key moment. And that is part of the concept of the movie, that you can have these very similar, very hard to distinguish realities that are, have only tiny little details in difference. Like, the different with the Band-Aid on the wrong, that sort of thing. Like that, and the colors and all of that. That's what I thought it was trying to lean into, and it was frustrating me in any case, just the way that it was.
Yeah,
I was trying to. It makes sense now that I know about the budget, because I'm like, I was wondering why they were filming it that way. because I'm like, am I just too stupid to understand what they're
No,
meaning
they're just
with this? It was
too
just, no,
broke
it
to
was
make it
just-
look different.
Yeah.
I don't think they could afford real lights, but
If I were
that being
filming
said, it's
that-
not the worst looking micro budget one I've seen.
No, it really isn't. Well, like Gray said, put the camera on some sticks. That's that's term for tripod. Excuse me.
It was just so shaky.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. People do like that real world type look. I don't.
Neither does Artem. He says it hurts his eyes.
Yeah. Take that
I agree.
crew. Yay! The actor said he doesn't like that look. The cast I would cut in half. You can have a more punchier story with 4 people, because you could still have different. Oh yeah,
yeah. I guess we
Yeah.
should have mentioned. Yes, there are diagrams in Primer. It
Primer-
does have to do with some time travel. There's some diagramming involved.
Primer was made for
Right.
cheap, Kitteh, but as long as
Yeah,
you
but-
understand you're not getting, Star
Mhm.
Wars level editing or
Mhm.
anything, it's a fun watch for its.
Well, I
restrictions.
enjoyed Coherence, even so, like because of the concept of it. So
Yeah,
you
it's
forget I'm
certainly
very easy.
For a time travel one, they really try to go out of their way to like solve any of the kind of plot holes or weird loopholes it kind of creates with its own rules. But there's people who dug into that one pretty deep. Those are the diagrams that Nico's talking about. But you dig diagrams. There's some homework for the movie. You get more diagrams.
I wanted to just pick apart Coherence because there's so many
Yeah.
different bits.
You could tell that it just has this one idea. Like, what if Schrodinger's cat? But
What if Schrodinger's cat, the movie?
yeah,
Well, that is kind of the premise. Apparently, they were really kind of trying to
leaned
focus
in
on
on
that.
it.
Like every choice could create something.
but when I saw
Different.
multiple, when there was more than 2 notes, it was slightly frustrating because Schrodinger's cat is either alive or dead, right? Not alive
Not-
or triplets or it's just
Well,
one or the other. Not
the director
Yeah.
has come out. There isn't infinite. It is a finite amount. We're
Yeah.
hearing you.
Mhm.
Okay. Hear
Even
me
though
out.
you are appearing to be my equal, my doppelganger, I must take you out.
a
now.
healthier you.
Fight.
You're not going to kill him with that paint.
Let's remake Clue, but we'll do the multiple endings. We'll call them each a different universe, and we'll title the series Into the Clueniverse.
I like it. You're
Into the
greenlit off the
Clueniverse.
title alone.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Sorry.
So
Continue.
would you kind of put like a primer somewhere around Coherence? Like if somebody said, I like this, can you recommend me something like that? Do you think primer would be there? I think I went there for low budget and for a bit of the paradox thing, but I don't know. Would something like Moon be a little bit closer to it?
Would Moon be closer to this or to
Yeah, kind of
Primer?
this, since it's a little more something fantastical than like time travel.
For me to watch, would you say go watch Primer or go watch Moon if you enjoyed
I'll
this
tell you to
movie?
watch both, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oddly
different
enough,
experiences.
yeah, oddly enough, Moon has a bigger budget, which is you'll understand why it's oddly enough if you watch it. But Primer, just know that it was made for
Rockwell
cheap.
isn't cheap.
That's fair.
But
That's fair.
okay,
Plus the
so
voice in the robot is going to be
With-
invited to a couple of horror festivals.
with Coherence, Gray said that they spent a lot of time on the editing. That's actually, they had a lot of footage, and that's actually where a lot of the budget went as well, is into the editing
yeah.
of it.
Apparently it's 50 grand all in, but from what they're talking, the shooting budget's 16K. So almost the rest of that all went to the editor. So it seems like way more in editing than in actual production on this.
And how
which
many
is
hours of
interesting.
footage did they have? Did you say it was like 20?
About
25 hours?
25 hours that they had to go through, about 5 hours a night, 5 nights. And then they had one thing of reshoots where after they had assembled it, they knew they needed certain beats. because they didn't have it written out before.
Yeah, that's
to be clear. I don't support. Sorry to interrupt. I do not support remaking Clue. I just wanted to make the joke, just so that's clear.
The way you saying it so seriously, like please.
But
don't
you've got to
cancel
take
me.
on the Tim Curry part. It's the only way that I will get on board with this.
Can do.
Well, if we're remaking it and I'm a part of it, I'll take the heat. I don't mind just to try to do something.
Well, so so you watched Coherence? Did you watch the other? Have you seen Fresh?
Fresh. It's been a
the girl
while.
from Twisters. It's
been a
Daisy
while.
Edgar Jones.
I have seen it, but it's been very, very long.
And when was Cloverfield? When did you watch Cloverfield?
2-3 years ago.
Did you like the end?
Cloverfield?
Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, not Cloverfield itself. This movie here.
Oh, excuse me. Completely unrelated film about a prepper. You had to.
They saw a place to make a connection.
I like. Have we all seen it now? Cloverfield,
Yes.
10 Cloverfield.
Yes, everybody on the panel has seen it today.
I do like the idea of kind of almost proving John Goodman's character right. Like there's something to be afraid of out there.
Mm-hmm. That's what Dorcas was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. He may have been a little cuckoo, a little crazy about things, but his intention at its base was there.
There's so much more nuance added to his performance.
Right. Yeah, like the picture.
His daughter?
Yes, like I'd like to hear more about that. Because why would he get replacement daughters?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Goodman do kind of a villain role before? I mean, like there's Oh Brother Where Art Thou, but he's kind of like a comedic monster in that, but he's still jovial. Like this is really like the deepest, darkest I've seen him get. But
yeah,
I love that dude, man.
I like me some John Goodman. I even like him.
Heaven Almighty.
He's a bad guy in Heaven Almighty.
Isn't he?
I need to check that out.
He's the one that like steals money from the dam, causing it to break.
Yes.
Oh,
wow.
fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't remember that.
You're right. That is kind of a comedic villain. Yes. Yes.
True. It's not
Fair enough.
Dark and scary villain, but don't forget he was also the air conditioning repairman at Greendale, and he was murdered.
It's true.
Right.
There is a mystery.
I liked him in Red State. I don't think he was a villain.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I'm of two minds on that. It's better than Tusk.
It is.
Yeah, Hydra was upset about about
Wait,
Hydra
what?
was upset about efficiency of these things. So for the Fresh movie, he was like the killer would definitely be found out by the police because he's not
Young
operating
meat.
very well.
You
Yeah,
think a 20-year-old's going to taste the same as an 80-year-old? I think not.
And
And
then
you're really going to go through 9 months of that stuff for veal?
That
Not
stuff.
worth it.
for veal. Oh God, gross. Yeah. So, and the War of the Rohirrim official trailer has come out. But
What? When and where?
Warner Brothers, I've just seen it here, but Warner Brothers loves to copyright strike even with.
Oh.
WB.
Or is this? No, it is. It's proper Warner Brothers.
Warner and
Anyway.
Universal. Just always there.
ADHD
Hello,
over there.
Mr. Dot.
Okay, so quick. That was quick. So basically, what really frustrated me in the reason that I didn't like 10 Cloverfield Lane was the character, the girl, the female. She
Oh, Mary
frustrated
Elizabeth
the shit out
Winstead.
of-
Please stop talking. You
Well, okay.
cannot speak ill of the
No,
movie.
She doesn't
It's not her
hate
character,
the
not how she
actress.
acts it.
It's
No,
the character.
character.
But she brought it to life. You brought the character to life. No.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. So the character.
Maybe that's it because I didn't like her so much. That character was such a character that I didn't like her.
Wait.
I hate women. I didn't. So I liked the way because we saw the parallels in.
I mean, in Fresh, it did have a woman lead, but she does share a name with your cat, so I don't know. We don't have enough information to prove whether or not you hate women. It's hard to say.
I did enjoy that lead in Fresh because I liked her ideas. What frustrated me about this character is in 10 Cloverfield is she was thinking too slowly and being too brash for me. I was like, stop, just make him like you, and that frustrated me. But that doesn't mean that I'm saying that the movie's bad. I'm saying that the character irritated me.
What if her character is an autist and has some sort of social disorder? Then how do you just make him like you?
Yeah, because you don't know, you can't read him. But that was what also part of what I loved about the movie was trying to read him, trying to figure out what he's about. And also, my camera was shaking. That was Daisy. She was
she
busy.
Heard her name.
She was busy having a
Bring
bath.
out
Thanks,
the Daisy cam.
Kitteh believes women should try to make men like it. Well, when you're kidnapped, even if it's a woman, make the woman like you. Just if you're kidnapped, endear yourself.
Be an alpha woman. Or wait, I don't know. Is that a thing? That can't be a thing, can it?
Doesn't it become like if you learn someone's name and details about them, doesn't it make it harder to do the evil deed because you humanize them in some way? So like, my name is this. I have a family. I don't know.
That is at the. Some people it doesn't work for because they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they're called sociopaths.
I don't care. That's always something that freaks me out. Is that yes, there are people that you cannot endear yourself, but with this there was a line that there was an in that you have to survive. So you play nice with this guy, and that frustrated me because she.
Oh, you wanted her to just play nice.
Yeah, I wanted it to be
Try
a bit smarter
different tactic.
Try a different tactic. Yeah.
Even when her buddy went tits up.
Yeah. Well, that the way she reacted in fear and panic that way, that made sense. That was fine. But part of her actions were her brashness and the way that she was going about it put him in danger as well.
I think ideally it would have been before he gets taken out, but either way.
So in the end, you find out that the omnipresent doom is there. So you're essentially trapped with, you're trapped within that space.
Yeah, this rock and hard space.
But you weren't lied to. Like there is a threat out there, and you did have protection up until the events.
So
I don't know. It is interesting.
If you're, there are small clues that she gets that he could be lying. So that, I guess, could sway your decision making. But in the end, it kind of redeems some element of John Goodman's character because, oh shit, everything is all.
He's only lying about some stuff,
right?
I mean,
yeah, it made his character a bit more intriguing because
that's
agreed.
That's Dorcas was saying that it gives him, it doesn't make him a good guy.
No,
he still lied. It's still the mystery of what's happening with the
he didn't lie
daughter
to
thing.
her though. Like the previous girl, she was lied to, but he
Then
told her
again-
about the threat out there.
But he's over that. It's fine.
Then again, if all three of those characters were good at communicating, we wouldn't be watching the movie. Be like, hey, the world's ending. I can prove it.
Yeah.
I'm not a great guy, but
You're saying it's Emmett's fault?
Oh,
the power structure is certainly.
I I think it was her attempts. It was fascinating to just see the way she navigated them.
Yeah. What I got from you, Kitteh, and from Hydra is you just wanted her to try to play nice for a little bit to gather information. Like
yeah,
a period of
I wanted her to
frequent.
Yeah, I wanted her to be like Vin. I wanted her to be like Vin. I wanted her to be keep it all together and watch and figure it out, and do it that way. It frustrated me. Yeah, but so it frustrated me, but that doesn't mean I didn't like it. The only thing I really didn't like, actually, was because we did discover this through the thinking out loud that happens, is that when get a hold of yourself, woman, before slapping a woman. And then there's me, who's actually rather emotionally quite fragile, so that doesn't make sense at all. But the fact that she frustrated me so much, by the time it got to the end, and then we find out it is aliens, I was like, okay, cool. And Goodman was dead, so I was like the big bad was done. The big mystery was over. I didn't give a shit about her. I was like, oh, are you done? Are you done? Are you done?
Well,
that's what I felt like.
But she went on a journey, though.
Right.
Like
the
before
thing is
she ran away. Now she's not.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. So the world's fucked. She dealt with everything she dealt with down there just to get out, and now she's going to have a brand new world of eat shit.
Even more. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So
Well,
congratulations.
guess I'm going back down.
Yeah, you made it out of your personal hell to get out into real hell.
Mm-hmm. But just by that time, I didn't even get the beat of her choosing to go to where she's fighting. I just didn't feel it. I was like, okay.
What's a better environment for you? Being free to experience hell, or being trapped in someone else's hell?
I'm not free. I wanted her to.
I mean, there were
really
so she got free. She got free.
Yeah, but I didn't like her. I don't know. There was something that just after.
There's going to be people you don't like, Kitteh.
But the point, and I'm not saying she
Not
should have
everyone can be
died.
you.
I was just like, ugh. I didn't enjoy it.
I get what you're saying, Kitteh.
So yeah, that was my take on it. It was that weirdness, because I was really enjoying it. I really was enjoying. I actually was going, this is such a fucking good movie. In my head, I was saying, this is such a good, cool movie. I'm really enjoying this. And I went to Gordon. I was like, Gordon, this is a good movie that you chose here. And then like that thing where, like we spoke about earlier, where they're doing this sort of charades or whatever game it is.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to guess. And he will not call her a woman. He calls her a girl. He doesn't think woman. I loved that. Those kinds of character moments were like what I was feeding on the whole time. So when that was gone, I was like,
but her knowing how you feel about him and knowing how thin a hair trigger John Goodman's character has, why would you attempt to piss him off more?
I wouldn't.
Well, I think that's
what she was
Kitteh
doing.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kitteh's argument is that she should have been trying to placate him more than she did in the movie. I think that's the point.
That is my argument. Yeah.
She does to an extent, but you do need
the way she tries to play
something to happen to be interested in the story.
No, I know, but the way she tries to play, is like interested in what's that? Emmett. That thing that was not a good move.
If you take the third character out, the other guy her age, if you take him out of the equation, I think I agree with you that all right, you know what? If it's just you and him, but there are moments.
So you got to try and
there are moments where you feel like, all right, we could team up and fuck this guy over. So while you have the advantage, don't placate, just get out of there. So I understand that. I really should have watched that one again. Shit. Didn't realize it would be such a discussion.
More like jealous.
What's this? We're thinking about meow.
I forgot. You said a word that ended in us, and at the moment it made sense.
Fantabulous?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember. If you rewind like 5 seconds before, I said more like jealous.
Okay.
Kitteh said something not Ellis, but us.
Maybe I was talking about me and Hydra.
Remind me.
It could be interesting.
Dorcas?
Remind you?
Was John Goodman's character jealous of the other two's budding relationship, or like was John Goodman romantically interested in her? So it could be. So it could be that she perhaps felt that if she were to try to placate him, he who already has a hair trigger and is probably not right in the mind
would kill the guy.
Misinterpret.
It happened anyway too.
Yeah, like with the whole
God,
the touching scene seemed to really get him jealous. So I don't know. I assume
it seemed
I just assume that would have set him off for sure. But maybe you can win his favor by buddying up to him. I don't know. Not sure.
What I took from that jealousy was it's like also that taken in context with the little woman thing, you won't call her a woman. It's like, don't touch my daughter kind of thing. Like none of that. Don't be doing that in my house.
Daughter.
That's what that's what I felt. I felt that it's don't do that in front of me. That's what I felt from him. I didn't feel like he was exactly interested in her. But then again, considering
it's a bit unclear.
It is unclear.
He definitely doesn't seem to like it. It seems to be making him angry, but is that because of jealousy or because, he's viewing the guy as
mouth?
That's exactly that. But that's also another thing. That's a rough place to be. What I loved about the Goodman character is that actually, even if she was trying to placate him, it's very hard to figure out what he wants. And that what I was so fascinating is I guess it's my psychosis. Just like, what do you want? What do you want? How do I make you not kill me? How do I figure out if you're telling the truth? Because also, and I'm finding out more information about you being a monster, and there's people scrapping help on the thing. I'm scared of you, definitely, but also just okay. Let's figure it out. I don't know.
So you want her to turn into the character at the beginning of a struggle snuggle revenge movie, just take whatever he's got because he might.
No, it's.
Well, once you find out that he's killing people, what?
Yeah, no, outsmart him. Then that's the thing. That's exactly what happens in Fresh, is that she does that.
Not set yourself up as an adversary, where it seems like at every turn she's kind of
play along until she sees an out.
That's exactly.
I think I go with that. Not get struggle snuggled, but don't be the squeaky
play
wheel.
Nice.
Just be one of the other wheels.
Till he's asleep, and then
sometimes you can't control whether or not you get struggle snuggled.
Struggle snuggle is great, but okay, guys, it is. I know that we started late and we're ending late, so that we got through the Cloverfield thing. Anything on you? I guess you didn't watch Fresh lately, so
not recently, no.
Okay. What we did with Fresh, if you go and watch earlier, we discussed. Well, we looked at a review from somebody who doesn't like it, and Gray really liked it. No, it's not.
I don't remember liking
it.
It's a shame,
it would be interesting to figure out what you don't like about it. So maybe go and we'll have to have another one of these.
Was this whole thing about movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
You missed a good one.
Was it possibly about Daisy Edgar Jones's dead eyes? Because that seemed to be the audience's
that was what the audience
feedback on this.
Yeah.
I think she's got lovely eyes. I don't know.
I like her, and I like the movie.
It's like Anya Taylor-Joy. In certain shots, you could see that she has a bit of a, what is that thing called? Wahlberger syndrome.
Oh, I was gonna say skeleton.
She's just fun to look at.
Her eyes,
like the walleye thing.
She's got in certain shots, you could see that her eyes are a little further apart than normal humans, and certain angles really exaggerate that. But
she's still fascinating and beautiful.
She's gorgeous. So yeah, I would if that's the only imperfection.
Like the beauty, that is a feature, not a bug.
Well, unless you're trying to get glasses.
But we are going to do. It's our first think on movies, but we'll do that in. We'll do it periodically every now and then, and we'll make sure everybody's seen the movies before the next time. But this has been fun.
Deal.
Everybody, what's happening? Gray and Charles, what do you guys talk about film? I hear.
Yeah, every once in a while, head on over to YouTube at Willis Scredia for show business. It's usually Mondays, sometimes other days. We go through the box office. We talk about any sort of news that should arrive in the movie business. And for some reason, my dog is scratching the floor right under me. But it's good times. It's usually Mondays, but just in case it isn't, you should go over there and ring the bell. Then you'll know when it is. But
and on
good
Sundays,
times.
do you guys feature anything on Sundays?
Of course. And on Sundays, make sure to check out Rosales Comics or at Rosales Comics on YouTube. That's right. Go check out Rosales. It's the Super Sunday wrap up. If you want to know anything that's going on kind of pop culturally, including heavily into the wrestling thing, which I think is what the main theme of the next one is. But, get your news, be up to date. Get that Sunday morning on the Super Sunday wrap up.
Sunday evening.
But yeah, that's about all I got going on. What about you, Charles? What you have going on, sir?
Well, basically everything that Gray just said. And if you check my channel in the last week or so, it's been I put more content out in the last 10 days than I have in the entire time I've been home at home in New York since May. So it's been a busy period for me. And go watch Strange Darling.
Strange Darling, the movie.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't wait to see what Giovanni Ribisi has brought to us.
Oh.
I've been looking into ow. Sorry, my dog just scratched the hell out of my foot. I've been looking into his music videos. I really actually want to see what he did with this film. So I'm excited for it. Go check out Strange Darlings. There's a lot of big films like Blink Twice and now I'm blanking, The Crow that are coming out this weekend, but support something smaller. Go to Strange Darlings.
Indeed.
Darling.
And No One Asked You podcast, sir.
Noi.
Over on the No One Asked You podcast, Ascension Unleashed continues apace. And it sounds like our next recording session, Kitteh and I will begin our second series that we have planned. So that'll be exciting. And it's looking like I'm probably going to get Black Myth Wukong. So I might consider making... What? I'm sorry?
It's not a disease, it's a game.
Oh, okay, then congrats.
I might consider making some Journey to the West content, so we'll see.
Yes,
about
do that.
That. I'm also thinking about getting Kingdom Come Deliverance in preparation for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So keep an eye on, if not the No One Asked You gaming channel, then the main podcast channel.
I too would like a Kingdom to Deliver Come.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Journey to the West, so good. Yeah, I would like to that would be a good thing for you to go over, Dorcas, especially now, topical.
Dorcas, how do you say?
I've only made it 26 chapters in, but it's fine because like the bulk of the book is episodic. Like the first 8 chapters is like one section, and then the last like 4 chapters or something are another section, and everything in the middle is just like on this episode of Journey to the West. What were you going to ask, Charles?
Oh, nothing significant. Noay. How do you say that?
Noi. Noi.
Kitteh had it.
Noi. No way, boy.
No.
Yeah, guys, on
if you're Canadian, it's just how you say no. No.
No. what we're continuing to do is we're going over the Destiny focus group. I was supposed to be doing the Sneeko blah 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 blah, but no, Warren went and had a chat with Destiny, so I will not let that go undiagrammed. So that's what's happening on Wednesday next week, and we continue the slog. We did 20 minutes of a 3-hour debate.
A
So
3-hour tour.
3 hours, yeah. So you go.
I remember that show.
So have a nice life, everybody, and we will see you this weekend on other channels, and also next week, every Thursday. We're doing a thing.